Hey everyone, skull902 here along with Dylan Bradley.
Hello, everybody.
We are fully expecting other guests to be here as well today, so uh, you know, uh, hopefully we can have a nice little party here. Um, now, you may be thinking, oh man, you're hosting a stream? What kind of game are we going to be playing today? Unfortunately, I am still experiencing computer troubles. Uh, not really a game, but this is an idea I've had for a while. Rabbit as well. He gets credit for this uh, just as
Yep.
much. Um, oh hey, there he is now.
I
Yeah,
was just gonna say,
I came
how
in while
long
you were
until you
talking. I
notice?
didn't want to interrupt you.
Uh, this is an idea that he and I have had for some time, uh,
Since like 2020 at least, yeah.
for God knows how many years. We were gonna make like a kind of like pre-recorded series out of it, but I think the live stream format might be best for this. But while I can't do games, I can do something as simple as read a book on stream. I think that won't be too demanding on the computer, and if the frame rate does suffer, it's a fucking book, you know? So who cares?
Yeah, as long as you have like 1 frame per second, I think you're fine.
Uh, so
Yeah, basically.
there are a bevy of licensed, books, novelizations, whatever out there based on a ton of different properties. It was a very popular thing to do in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. Um, and even somewhat a little bit still today, though not as much, unfortunately. Uh, so welcome, Swift, and thank you for your condolences. As a small update on that, I did get some news. Since the last computer didn't work out and whatnot, I was talking with my brother, um, and it looks like a new one is in the works. Shall we say? We're gonna get like a nice fancy business class PC, which my brother might even be able to purchase tonight. I'm gonna be paid by Google like within the week. And it's going to be like all that clone calamity donations and whatnot. And again, thank you all very much for your generosity there. So I'm going to buy a GPU for it. We're going to have one of his buddies who's like an IT dude take a look at it, install the GPU, and give it a big old test and whatnot, and make sure that it works. And fingers crossed, it'll still be working when it reaches me. So that's the computer update. But back to this whole book business. Uh, Again, Rabbit and I just thought it would be fun to take a look at these licensed books and comment over them. Uh, do a little riffing, crack some jokes here and there, and then review the contents. So that's what we're doing. Hello, Stitch. Welcome, welcome. Uh, we got 3 books on the docket today, being hosted by a collection called Retro Reading Time on Internet Archive. Uh, it's got a load of books, and if you want to see for yourself, actually, uh, here is the link to that, and you guys can read along or maybe off stream, have a look at the collection and, you know, uh, get to reading all the contents within. We're going to be doing the first 3 of the 6 Sonic X adaptations today, or at least I'm going to try. Uh, we've got Meteor Shower Messenger, Spaceship Blue Typhoon, and Aqua Planet, but there is a hell of a lot more in this collection. Uh, whether it's Sonic or Sailor Moon. They've even got the novelization of the 1993 Super Mario Brothers movie in here. That's how deep this goes. Uh, there's quite a lot of material in this collection, so I'm looking forward to starting this little series, the 902 Book Club. Uh, and if you guys enjoy, then we'll look forward to doing more. But that's the basic premise of this stream. Uh, Now, Rabbit, I already told Dylan before we started, but I'm gonna be the one reading here, so it's gonna be up to you guys to have a look-see at the chat every now and then, and respond or read comments or whatever if one comes up and whatnot. So yeah, one last little thing before we get reading. Obviously, the stream would be a bit boring with just the commentary. So I'm gonna do everyone a favor and play the Sonic Adventure soundtrack in the background as we're doing this. So yeah.
Welcome to Mystic Park.
So, our first book is, again, Sonic X #1, Meteor Shower Messenger. Are we ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Let's get to it.
I don't know if I was meant to answer that, but...
All right, and again, thanks to Retro Reading Time, this website is not active anymore. Just to let everyone know. This is where Abbott and I originally found all this stuff, and then it got taken down by the copyright police. But someone managed to archive a lot of what they had here. So we've got Sonic X Meteor Shower Messenger by PJ Rudy in what appears to be Comic Sans. And we got a bunch of copyright information, but that's boring.
I just came back with pizza.
Hell yeah.
All I have to say about the copyright page is, no copyright law in the universe is gonna stop us!
Yeah, fuck this copyright shit. Okay, so, the story. The battle for the Chaos Emeralds. A bright blue light in fancy text streaked through space.
Yeah, I like the emphasis on bright blue light!
It wasn't a shooting star. It wasn't a comet. In fact, it wasn't anything that was normally found in space at all. I like the way that sentence was written. It was supersonic. He was in the middle of a fierce battle.
The way you worded that reminded me of that part in Regular Show where he was like, this guy, stop being alive.
Just stop being alive!
It's nice to meet you for the first time ever in life. Supersonic had already fought an army of Metarex robot monsters. Now it was time for him to take on his enemy, Dark Oak. Dark Oak was after the Chaos Emeralds. This was nothing new. Supersonic was it's as if they were fighting Dark Oak this whole time, but that's not the case. Supersonic was ready to protect them no matter what it took. Supersonic fought well.
I guess Dark Oak's been here for a while, I suppose.
He's always been here.
the way they're wording it. But he
It's
was
always
getting
been
tired.
Darko.
His glow began to dim. His super strength was weakening. In the end, Supersonic couldn't hold off his enemy any longer. It's no use, said Dark Oak. Just hand the Chaos Emeralds over. Supersonic knew he could not win the battle. He also knew that he could not hand the Chaos Emeralds over to his enemy, so Supersonic did the only thing that he could do. Chaos Control! Supersonic yelled. The Chaos Emeralds surrounded Supersonic. This is actually a very fitting song for this. They shined brightly in the darkness of space. It was now or never. With the last of his super strength, Supersonic flung the Chaos Emeralds out in 7 different directions. Even though the Chaos Emeralds were no longer in his control, Supersonic knew that they were safe from his enemy. Dark Oak could only watch as the Chaos Emeralds disappeared. I like this page too. You got, I don't. Oh wait, no, this must be from when he was getting knocked back. This is an in-between frame. Supersonic plunges
Very
through
odd.
space.
Very odd frame to pull, and you can definitely tell it's a transition frame. Also,
I like
welcome in,
when,
Purple Spartan.
I like when these old, cartoon adaptation books would just, put screenshots from the episodes on these pages.
Oh, yeah. Welcome in. Who was that, Dylan?
Purple Spartan.
Welcome, Purple Spartan.
Never heard it be a welcome.
He could not believe what Supersonic had done. The Chaos Emeralds had almost been within his
I
grasp.
can't believe this!
Supersonic was glad to know that he had ruined Dark Oak's plans. With the Chaos Emerald safe, he could finally rest. He was exhausted. Supersonic let the last of his energy drain as he fell through space. The fight may have ended, but the battle was not over! Dark Oak had many other allies throughout space. They could help him find the Chaos Emeralds. He sent a message to his friends telling them to search for the Chaos Emeralds. It was top priority. Then he switched to Phase 2 of his battle plan. Dispatch the raid battalion, he ordered the Metarex. Seize the planet egg of the planet in question. The Metarex went down to Sonic's home and sorry, I really thought that was going to be the end of a sentence. Sonic's home world in search of something called the planet egg. But man, look at this page. Dark Oak and the Metarex eyes watching on. Whoa! Supersonic continued to fall to his home planet. I almost stopped there again. I don't know what's wrong with me. He had finally run out of energy! He was too tired to stop himself. Supersonic's powers drained from his body as he returned to normal. He was just regular Sonic again by the time he crashed into the sea.
Oh yeah, it's just me again!
The starry sky. Meanwhile, on another part of Sonic's home planet, which will go unnamed, his friends were looking forward to an exciting night!
Friday night!
But they didn't know how exciting it was going to be.
I mean, until just recently, Earth was renamed Sonic's World for a while.
That is true. Tails, can you see anything yet? Cream asked. Nope, but wait a little longer, Tails said. He looked through the lens of his video camera. Maybe when it gets a bit darker, we'll be able to see more.
Man, when are we gonna see famous Sonic X character Cream's mom?
Soon, I hope. According to the records from days of old, tonight was the night they would not, they would be able, with their eyes, to see a meteor shower!
Meteor shower!
Hundreds of shooting stars were going to fill the sky. Does that star look strange to you? Screenshots.
Also, suck
This looks strange to you.
Tails had gathered with Amy, Cream, and Cheese to enjoy the view. Amy wished Sonic were there to share it with her. Here it comes!
Here it comes!
Amy cheered as she saw the first shooting star. I'm going to start taping it, Tails said. He pressed the record button, which is capitalized for some reason.
A very important record button.
Shooting stars filled the sky, but something didn't look quite right. Does that star look strange to you? Amy asked. She was pointing at a meteor. It wasn't flying with the others. It seems to be falling toward us, Cream said. Cream was right. The meteor was headed right for them. It passed above their heads and crashed into the forest. Tails, Amy, Cheese, and Cream, which is an interesting order, Cheese and Cream.
Tails, Amy, Cheese, and Cream.
Cheese and Cream does not sound right.
No, it's always cream and cheese.
Hurried through the forest to the spot where the meteor crashed. It wasn't hard to find. The meteor had crashed through the trees. It left a path that was easy to follow.
Listen, that convenient.
Sonic's friends approached the crater carefully. Smoke was rising out of the hole. They didn't know what they might find inside. It turned out to be the last thing any of them were expecting. There's someone lying in the hole!
Someone lying in the hole!
Amy said calmly.
Are you sure it wasn't Cosmo who said that?
Yeah, I think Cosmo's like halfway dead right now.
The girl at the bottom of the crater let out a moan. She was alive, but she had been through a rough landing. Amy sprang into action. I can't read. Your house is closest, Cream. We've got to get her help right away. I'll go tell Mother about this, Cream said, hurrying home. Tails looked back at the sky, amazed. This girl probably came from outer space!
Wow, Cosmo, you look like shit.
I also love, like, don't get me wrong, I'm a massive Tails fan, but no fucking shit, Tails!
There was an intensity there that I'm quite frankly afraid. Here we get another another beautiful screenshot here. Tails helps the mystery girl. Whoa!
I fucking love the Sonic screenshot on the next page.
How did I get here?
Rescued, Eggman. But the girl wasn't the only one to come crashing down from outer space.
Outer space!
Sonic was waking up on another part of the planet. He was no longer in the sea. He was in somebody's bed. So you've finally come to, a familiar voice said. Eggman! Sonic said, calmly. Sonic sprang out of bed when he realized he was in the home of another one of his enemies. The day had gone from bad to worse. How did I get here? Sonic asked. The last thing he remembered was falling. Screenshot page. Screenshot page.
You were pretty bad hurt.
Falling from space. Everything after that was a total blank. Sonic listened while Eggman told his story. The story began when Eggman was out for his daily run. You were pretty badly hurt, Eggman said, and lying on the beach. Sonic tried to remember. Sonic tried to remember washing up on the beach, but he couldn't. I don't know what happened, Eggman said, but I sure don't want to get up one morning and find you dead in the vicinity of my home. I don't know why
they said the D word.
Yeah, they said the D word. I love this sentence being in a children's book from around the time.
Also, welcome, Eddie. We are just reading some Sonic X novel adaptations and laughing our asses off at them.
If you're going to die, I'd rather you not do so on my property, thank you.
Welcome in, Eddie. Sonic didn't think Eggman was very funny.
You're not very funny.
I think he's hilarious.
I almost died.
Be grateful I'm merciful enough to save my enemy's life, Eggman said. Damn it. Oh, the misspelling too, Becco.
I mean, the fusion of Deco and Boko.
Yeah.
It is indeed noble to show such humanity to an enemy, Becco said. He was one of Eggman's henchmen. I don't really understand why, though, Deco said. Eggman's other henchman was easily confused. How come you were beat up like that? Oh, that was Bokun, okay.
Suddenly Bokun.
Oh, sorry, how come you were beat up like that? I can't do Bokun's voice.
Nice try, though.
Like that?
Bokun asked. He was carrying a mug of cocoa for Sonic. I've gotta go, Sonic said. As Sonic hurried off, he ran into Bokun and spilled some of the cocoa. No, sorry, Sonic said, but I really gotta go. Sonic was always hurrying off to places.
Why is the narrator so aggressive?
Thanks, Eggman, Sonic said as he disappeared. He's just as rude as ever, Deco said when Sonic was gone. Can't he show more appreciation by treating us to a meal or something? Becco said. Right, Deco agreed. He's right, Bokun added. Treat us to cake, Sonic! But Sonic
Bokun
was...
going through either puberty or smoker's lung.
Yes!
Treat us to take cake, kiss. I'm sorry. So anyway, but Sonic was too far away to hear. Eggman wasn't thinking about cake, though.
Cake!
He was wondering what Sonic was up to.
Actually, you know what? Now I'm thinking about cake.
Actually, you know what? Cake sounds pretty good. Make me some cake.
You got me craving evil cake.
Strange visitors. The mysterious stranger from space was safely tucked into bed at Cream's house. Unlike Sonic, she was still asleep, and forever would be. As she slept, she had horrible dreams. She was on her home planet. It was about to be destroyed. Actually...
She was running for her life!
Cosmo was born after they abandoned their home planet? Get it right?
And you are right. I forgot that.
Man, I don't remember Sonic Explorer.
She was running for her life! A huge robot monster was after her. It was destroying everything in its path. When she turned, she saw the monster's eyes!
Monster's eyes!
Glowing in the smoke. It was truly a scary sight. Cosmo, run! A woman was yelling to her, but Cosmo couldn't
We
move.
know her name.
She was frozen in fear. Screenshot page. The nightmare ended before the monster got her. Cosmo woke up from the nightmare to find herself in a room full of strangers.
I like how there's all this emphasis, but Cosmo Run was pretty muted.
Yeah.
Yeah! Cosmo, run!
Oh, okay.
Ow, she said as she tried to get up. She was still hurting. She was still hurting from the crash.
I think it's a little more than ow! How long have you been fucking knocked out?
It was a pretty hard landing. Don't push yourself, Amy said. You fell out of the sky. Did you come from another planet? Cream asked. Cosmo slowly nodded her head. There's somebody called Sonic on this planet, isn't there? Cosmo asked. I've come because I have something to tell him. Sonic's friends introduced themselves to Cosmo. Then they heard a horrible noise! They rushed to the window. The noise was coming from outside. It was above them, up in the sky. Even though she was hurt, Cosmo got out of bed. She thought the noise sounded familiar.
Also, welcome, Mark Robert H. We are just reading some Sonic X novelizations and laughing our asses off.
Sure we are.
Also, I like how they chose a particularly dumpy-looking frame for this page.
Yeah.
They really did.
But we got our wish. Our favorite character, Cream's mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, she made the frame just fucking barely.
She hoped that she was wrong, but when she got to the window, she knew she wasn't wrong. It was something that she had seen before. Matarax!
Oh my god.
Cosmo
Also,
meets
that
Sonic's
is
friend.
miserable wording. Just,
Yeah.
she hoped that she was wrong, and then immediately she knew she wasn't wrong!
She hoped that she was wrong. She was not wrong. Path of Destruction. The Metarex passed... Yeah, Knuckles. The Metarex passed Angel Island, floating in the sky. Knuckles was resting in front of the Master Emerald, keeping it safe. The noise from the Metarex woke him. He was used to seeing strange things, but this was different.
And iron! Oh.
The font there, I had to really look at that word to recognize that it was iron.
Iron?
What the? An iron monster? Knuckles asked. It was a very strange thing indeed. From where he was...
I gotta say, because this is Dan Green Knuckles, I kind of want all his dialogue to look like that.
From where he was standing, Knuckles could hear the Metarex speaking. It said, "In search of Planet Egg. We'll launch salvaging. Sorry." Knuckles was even more shocked by what it... Screenshot page. Did next.
The Metarex destroyed the trees.
It's trying to destroy the forest, he yelled. The Metarex shattered the trees as it landed. Its eyes began to glow.
Holy fuck!
It was the same glow that Cosmo had seen in her nightmare. Then the Metarex began its attack. The beam dug up the ground and knocked over trees. Smoke filled the forest as the Metarex continued the destruction. Hey, cut that out! Knuckles yelled down to the Iron Monster.
I love it if they did exactly that tone.
Gonna do?
Like, hey, cut that out.
Don't attack the guy, just randomly be like, hey, yeah, can you cut that out? Thanks.
Reminds me of like the recurring bit like from Officer Cosgrove and Freakazoid, like every episode in season 2. You'd be like,
Hey, cut it out.
But the monster didn't listen. It just continued its attack. Knuckles had to act quickly. He didn't know what the iron monster was up to, but it was clear that it was up to no good.
What's up to no good?
If Knuckles didn't stop it, the entire forest would surely be destroyed. The attack. Knuckles left Angel Island and attacked the iron monster. He moved quickly, throwing a punch at the Metarex in midair. But Knuckles was the one that was shocked by the punch. The Metarex hardly even noticed. The Metarex waved its arm at Knuckles and flicked him aside. Oh wait, sorry. Knuckles likes this. It sounds like he's dying, but he likes this. Knuckles yelled as he flew through the air. Knuckles landed on his feet in the forest. He knew he couldn't take on the robot monster alone. Luckily, help came from above. The missiles attack! Hehe. A missile was flying toward the Metarex. Knuckles hoped that it would have better luck than he had. More missiles flew toward the Metarex! They exploded, one after the other, hardly making a dent in the robot. Knuckles looked up in the sky. The missiles were coming from the X-Tornado!
Tornade! That's Tornade. That's not, no!
Oh yeah,
no, yeah, it is the X-Tornade.
X-Tornade! X-Tornade.
The X-Tornade.
They consistently spell it as the X-Tornade in the...
Oh wow, yeah, they do. I'm seeing it. Tails was piloting the ship. He joined the attack. Tails, what is that thing? Knuckles asked. I don't have the slightest idea, Tails replied. Back me up, Knuckles said. I'm going to stop it. Tails prepared the X-Tornade for the fight. He looked back to his passenger, Cosmo. She insisted on coming along for the ride. We're going into battle mode, he said. Are you going to be okay with that? Yes, even though I don't know what that means, she said. She was even more prepared than he knew. Tails swung the X-Tornade around to get a better shot at the Metarex.
This makes me think that like they didn't even give like a script to the writer to work with, and instead you just like watch the episode once.
Here is a basic plot summary. Do with that what you will.
I know there's a plane, and I know that it's named Tornado.
I was like, what are they saying? X-Tornade? Yeah, it's X-Tornade. I'll just type that.
He fired the Vulcan at the huge target. Amy, Cream, and Cheese ran to watch the battle. They could not believe what they were seeing. The forest was being destroyed! The Metarex was hardly scratched by the Vulcan. That girl seems to know about the robot, Amy said, and she was right. From inside the X-Tornade, the fight was not looking good. The attacks have no effect, Tails said. He watched as the machine swatted Knuckles away again. Normal attack method, blah blah blah, sorry. Methods won't work on a Metarex, Cosmo said. What is that thing? Tails asked. Cosmo had trouble getting the words out. It is something that takes the life of planets. A machine version of death.
Version of death!
Holy shit, dude, that's metal as fuck.
That is metal as fuck.
Also, Robert H., I'm so glad I'm not the only person who thought that. Yeah, he's just suddenly shooting a whole ton of Vulcans at him. Live long and prosper.
Look, you just hear a bunch of like, intriguing.
That is illogical.
Highly illogical.
The Metarex can't be destroyed, oh no!
Yet the screen cap is of it being destroyed. Just saying.
The battle rages on. Just when it appeared that nothing could hurt the Metarex, a familiar blue streak of light flew past the X-Tornade. It crashed into the Metarex, sending the iron monster to the ground. Sonic! His friends cheered as they watched from the ground. They knew that Sonic could take out this new enemy. Sonic had won many battles before. Cosmo stood up in the X-Tornado to get a better look at Sonic. She was so excited that she even bumped her head. A very necessary detail. So, that's Sonic, she said. He was the reason she had come to the planet.
Now I'm
He
just
was-
imagining Cosmo being a clumsy bitch the whole time.
So that's Sonic.
The power of lady boners is stronger.
He was the only one that could stop the Metarex. Sonic took a moment to look over the situation. The Metarex may have fallen to the ground, but it was definitely not about to give up. The robot monster had managed to do a lot of damage! It looked like it had a lot more fight in it, too. But Sonic wasn't really worried. He wasn't worried at all. You all go out, don't you? Or you go all out, don't you? That was very different from... God, I cannot read. You go all out, don't you? Or do you go out? Do you go out? Wink.
Sonic just casually hitting on Rex.
He said,
What are your plans for tonight, huh?
he said to the machine. He flashed it a cocky smile. Ooh.
Oh man, he's flashing it now too.
I'm so glad that wasn't just my dirty mind.
The Metarex was getting back up faster than Sonic had expected. Sonic! Tails yelled as the X-Tornado emitted the ring. I got it!
You're right.
Sonic yelled back as he grabbed the ring. Sonic could feel his power grow as soon as he touched the ring. With new strength, he started a spinning attack!
Spinning attack!
He struck the Metarex in the chest and knocked the monster back. Sonic grabs the ring. Sonic continued his spinning attack on the monster. Suddenly, the Metarex swung its smaller arms at Sonic. Robot arms were everywhere. But Sonic managed to avoid being hit. Knuckles joined in the attack, punching the Metarex while Sonic distracted it.
Okay, now I'm just like imagining parents reading this to like their kids, not knowing like what Sonic is, and they're just like spinning attack. So like, does he just spin around in a circle? What does that mean?
Here, I'll show you, Mom. The kid, like, flips his Sonic plushie 1 or 2 times. That is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Why do you like this?
Neither Sonic nor Knuckles seemed to make a dent in the Iron Robot. Eventually, the Metarex was able to hit them back. Sonic and Knuckles went crashing to the ground. My attacks aren't working. I don't know why at first glance I thought it said my arms aren't working. I was very concerned.
My arms aren't working! I'm paralyzed!
He is unexpectedly tough, Sonic agreed. Nothing that Sonic and Knuckles did could get through the machine's defenses. Its body armor was just too strong. Sonic, use the Chaos Emerald!
Chaos Emerald!
Knuckles said. Sorry, Sonic replied. The Chaos Emeralds are all the way beyond outer space.
Beyond outer space?
The Chaos Emeralds are in another
Press
fucking
X it
universe.
out.
Sonic explained that he had been forced to scatter the emeralds to keep them safe. Knuckles was not happy to hear that there were no Chaos Emeralds
Chaos Emeralds!
in the world just when he and Sonic really needed them. Knuckles
What the
goes down.
fuck do you mean they didn't adapt Knuckles going, "Are you crazy?" and have it in big red letters that take up half the page?
Yeah,
They really should have, though.
that better be the start of the next chapter, goddammit.
Yeah, just,
Are you crazy?
Fuck. Planet Egg. The
Worst book
Metarex
ever, Zero
continued
Ken.
its attack. Sonic and Knuckles couldn't keep up with the robot's arms and laser beams. For a moment, they were lost in all the smoke.
oh!
Don't smoke, kids. The Metarex stretched out its arms. It was going straight for the planet's crust. Watch out! Amy yelled as she pulled Cream out of the way. Light shot out from the ground in front of the robot. The Metarex had found what it was looking for. For the tranquility and order of outer space, the Metarex said. The ground began to crack.
Began to crack!
Oh, I like the colors on this screenshot.
Yeah, it's
They
really
are
good,
very
actually.
nice.
Pillars of
Also,
light
Robert-
shoot out from the ground.
I was just gonna say, Robert suggested that they might be in the soul dimension now. Which, I mean, possible, but isn't what they were going here.
The soul dimension didn't even exist when they made this, so.
No. Yeah.
Would have been a great hiding place.
It would have. Also, welcome, Katie.
Hi, Katie. So, okay, she's not in the call. I see. A huge chunk.
No, she's just in the chat.
Look how fucking short this chapter is.
It's
You know,
literally
one
like two
page,
pages.
screenshot page, second page, next chapter. A huge
Next.
chunk of the forest floor came up as the bright light grew.
light.
No, Cosmo yelled from inside the X-Tornado.
No.
She had seen this-
negatory.
She had seen this happen before. It was the cause of her nightmare. Nothing could stop the Metarex. It was too strong. Sonic and Knuckles could only watch helplessly as the bright light spread across the forest. Then they couldn't see anything except for that light. It's a very wordy way of saying that they were blinded by it.
Yeah, no, their wording on this sucks.
Look, bro, I'm paid by the word, alright?
I wanted to make this book 180 pages long, but they wouldn't let me. The light finally
Also-
dimmed. Oh?
I was just gonna say, Eddie was saying maybe they didn't scan it correctly. Well, the page numbers line up perfectly, and the folks at the Internet Archive are really good at what they do, thankfully.
Yeah, this is a good scan. The light finally
Yeah.
dimmed. Sonic could see again, and he did not like what was before his eyes. The Metarex had carved a deep chunk out of the ground. It found what it was looking for. What's that? Tails asked. The planet egg, Cosmo replied. The very life of planets!
Planets.
Planets that lose their planet egg lose their life energy and die. A shock and a surprise. Well,
Oh, yeah.
Both of them?
we're getting a little extreme, Sonic X.
Hold on.
Collection completed, the Metarex said. Break away. The Metarex grabbed the planet egg and started to fly off with it. Hold it! Sonic said as he started another spinning attack. He had to stop the Metarex. Sonic went after the robot. Once again, the Metarex swatted Sonic away as if it were nothing. He were nothing. Oh, sorry, no.
Not letting you get away!
This is Tails. I'm not letting it get away! Tails yelled as he aimed the X-Tornado toward the Metarex.
Suddenly, manly tail, I love it.
The Metarex easily brushed off the attack. The Metarex captures the planet egg, oh no.
That's more like a black hole to me, but go on.
Yeah, the planet egg is like such a weird thing, like, you know. Like, look at the
Oh,
shape of the
yeah,
box, like, you
black
could have
hole.
called it, like, the planet crystal, and I think that, especially
You think
because
that
so much of Sonic is, like, jewel-based anyway.
Yeah.
it sounds more like something like Eggman would make a planet and be like,
This is my planet.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that would make far more sense, but yeah, it's just this random thing.
Tails chased the Metarex as far as he could, but the ship couldn't keep up. It's no good! Tails yelled. He was forced to back off. I can't chase it all the way into outer space in this craft. Tails noticed that Cosmo looked dizzy. She asked him to open the door to the ship. He tried to explain that they were really far up in the sky, but she didn't care. But she gave zero shits.
I don't care.
I'm gonna space myself, Tails, and you can't do anything about it.
When Tails opened the door for her, Cosmo did something totally unexpected. She jumped out of the ship. Cosmo floated gently to the ground where she met up with Sonic. He wasn't looking too good from the battle, but Cosmo hardly noticed. How do you do? She asked. My name is Cosmo. You're Sonic, aren't you? Yes, he replied.
Yeah.
You didn't figure that out yet? How long has it been? Jesus,
Everyone
you're
around
close.
here has been calling me Sonic, but I don't know.
The name of the goddamn show is Sonic X.
Cosmo smiled. You're the only hero capable of controlling the Miracle Gemstones,
Gemstones.
she said. The Chaos Emeralds. Please, I beg you, the universe is in crisis. Before Sonic could respond, he heard Tails calling out for him. Sonic! Knuckles! Tails said as he reached them. The Master Emerald is glowing! This was great news. In what way? The glow of the Master Emerald was a signal that a Chaos Emerald was close by.
Since when?
The dude shot him out into space. It can't be close by.
I made sure I flung those things far. There's no fucking way one of them followed me here.
Screenshot.
Immediately
page.
when I saw this Chris screenshot, my mind went to the "In My Pants" soundbite.
Screenshot page. Sonic only has 3 head spikes. Ew.
I'm missing a head spike.
The reunion. Meanwhile, on Earth, Sonic's friend, and I use that term loosely, Chris had grown up. He was now 18 years old. Time moved differently on Earth than it did on Sonic's home world. And I'm flashing back to the joke about like the parent reading this for their kid. What is this about space-time? What?
What show is this?
Suddenly, the space-time continuum being completely fucking shattered.
And why does the rabbit mom make me feel like abandoning your mother?
Why is she the size of an average human mother?
6 years had
Did
passed
Chris-
since Sonic
Sorry.
left Earth. In these 6 years, Chris had missed his friend very much. Just the one.
Yeah. Fuck his actual other friends, you know.
Yeah. Chris had completed the transmission pod.
Transmission pod!
He wrote a letter to his family and friends telling them what he was about to do. He knew if he had told them in person, they would try to stop him. Once Chris had finished the letter, he stepped into the pod. If everything went the way he planned, it would take him to Sonic. Steps out of the light. On Angel Island, the Master Emerald was glowing brighter than anyone had ever seen it do before. Suddenly, Sonic and his friends could see a shape in the light. It looked like a person. As the light began to dim, they could see the person better. They could not believe their eyes. Chris Thorndyke stepped out of the light. But he didn't look like he was 18 anymore. He looked more like he was 12!
Now you can order 2 great Sonic comic book subscriptions!
Yeah, man,
Also,
man,
I'm looking up what his age was because Felicia pointed out probably correctly he's now 18. I thought he was like meant to be in his 30s or 40s, and I think you're about right.
What? No, he's 18 in season 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm misremembering too.
And
I just got.
I never looked at Chris's adult design and thought middle-aged.
I thought like he looked maybe like he was in his 20s, but yeah.
Wow.
Boys.
Oh, hi, Katie.
Dude, the reading can be dying.
Oh, no, thank you.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Ew.
You can order 2 great Sonic comic book subscriptions. Don't miss this 4-issue Sonic X miniseries subscription for only $5. And
Well,
then,
that's a good deal.
and then there's the 10-issue Sonic the Hedgehog comic book subscription, but this was published in 2005, so some of that's still going to be Kempenda's work. But don't worry, by the end of it, you'll be reading Ian Flynn.
Oh shit, I'm not. No,
And there's the back cover. Sonic
that's not
battles
what
through
it's
different
called.
worlds to find the Chaos Emeralds before his enemies do. Can you keep up? In order to stop Dark Oak from getting his evil hands on the Chaos Emeralds, Super Sonic scatters the precious jewels across the galaxy. Now he is faced with Dark Oak's army of Metarex coming to steal the planet's life source, the Planet Egg. Sonic's not sure how to battle this mysterious enemy until help appears in the unlikely form of a mysterious capsule containing a tiny girl. Tiny.
Well, alright.
Also, that's like the
Teeny
world's
tiny.
shortest book.
Yeah, so
It's pretty average size for this type of book.
and there's book number 1. Some interesting stylization choices with the big old words, and I presume we're gonna be seeing that in like all the other Sonic X books.
Pretty
And that'll
much.
be hilarious.
Pretty
Yeah,
funny.
I live stream on my iPad as well to my mom's Android tablet, but it'll still work.
Well, whichever way it works for you, I suppose. But
I'll have the VC on the phone, but I have it on live. But like, I can just look at the chat on the other tablet.
gotcha.
So you guys hearing crazy noise background? Family's here and they're outside. My nephew's cousins are here.
Gotcha. But just to put a little wrap on book number 1, I do love me the random screenshots, and whatnot. It definitely feels like a novelization of a television episode from the 2000s.
Pretty much.
For sure.
It's definitely got that vibe to it, so I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah.
Chat, what are we thinking? I don't think Pander's ever touched the X series. No, but he was on the regular one.
He's on the main book still.
Really?
Yeah.
Which
He was on our team for a
So
while,
it was
yeah.
like it was a 4-book subscription to Sonic X, and then 10 issues of the regular comic. So around that time, it would have been like the end of Pender's tenure in the beginning.
Oh shit!
Oh dear.
There we go. My darn
Well, that was something.
tablet.
Sure was.
That was tablets. Okay, there we go.
New Mandela effect just dropped apparently. I don't know, like he just to me he never came across as like in his 30s, but
Yeah, I mean, I kind of was along the same. I think the issue with is kind of what Felicia said after that, where is literally told to have like a kid and a wife, so it kind of seems. But maybe that's the way he lived life.
So y'all cut out my end. I apologize. Wi-Fi's been a bit fucky. I don't know what's going
No,
on.
he's cutting out for me too.
Blame my Wi-Fi. It's been fucky. I don't know what's going on with that, bro. So
Sorry,
if it cuts out, I apologize.
who's cutting out?
Me. Blame my Wi-Fi. It's been going up and down, which has been cutting people out.
Oh, well.
I don't know what the hell's going on with that.
In any case, we got book number 2, Spaceship Blue Typhoon.
Blue Typhoon!
This one was written by Diana G. Gallagher.
Come on. Can I read the screen? Can I... There we go. Nope. Come on. Button. There we go. Goddamn. So slow.
The Big Small Mistake.
Season 3.
Chris Thorndike stood in the transparent pod. He had started to build it after Sonic left Earth. That was 6 years ago. This is dangerous, Chris said. But I want to see Sonic again. The pod glowed.
God glowed!
The light covered Chris. Everything went dark and quiet. Then he saw the light coming from the Master Emerald.
The Master Emerald!
Sonic and his friends looked surprised. I did it, Chris exclaimed. I'm in Sonic's world. Sonic!
I did it!
Chris started to run, but he tripped and fell. His shirt and pants were too big. Chris, long time no see, Tails said. How are you? Cream asked.
I can't resist doing the character voices.
Your clothes are too big, idiot, Sonic says to Chris.
The inclusion of idiot there is absolutely
Why they? Oh yeah, they could not. They could not add that in the book.
I'm sure they could have if they wanted to.
They should have.
Nobody was reading this thing.
Shut up.
I shrank, oh no, said Chris. He was 18 when he
Honey,
left
I
the Earth.
shrunk the Chris!
But on Sonic's planet, he was back to the size of a 12-year-old, which makes absolutely zero sense.
Suddenly, the space-time continuum just shattering.
I think there was a problem during the teleportation. How'd you get here?
get here?
Amy poked Chris. Rude. But then again, Chris probably deserved it.
Oh, he absolutely fucking deserves it.
100%.
I built my own transmission pod, Chris said with pride.
Sorry, the voice killing me.
Who is he?
Huh?
Cosmo asked Sonic. A friend, I think. Sonic gave a thumbs up.
Thumbs up!
You think, huh, buddy? Yeah,
a quote-unquote friend.
Oh yeah, I actually really fucking hate him. I don't know why he's back.
Hi, Chris.
Didn't he get that restraining order I sent?
God damn it.
Cheese
I
jumped
miss you
on
guys so
Sonic's
much.
head. Sonic! Chris grinned. You haven't changed at all. You look the same too, Sonic said. But your clothes are too big. Idiot. Chris agreed.
Idiot.
He'd only been 12 when Sonic left Earth. They really like reminding us of that. I'm not
Hey,
quite the
thanks.
same, Chris started to explain. Then he gasped.
Sword?
Yes!
Hey, guys.
Sonic gave Chris a friendly slap on the back. Well, we're glad you made it anyway. Then he fell
I'd
face
rather
down on the
you
ground.
not.
Also, Sonic
The
looks
lie
a bit
was
fucky in that screenshot.
he really do. The lie was too much to contain. It knocked Sonic out.
Yeah.
Dead.
Why?
A terrible tale. Sonic passed out, Tails said.
Of course he did.
He just needs to rest. Cream's mother tucked Sonic into Cream's bed. It has the
Yeah,
same,
Cream's mom!
Robotic vanilla?
it's same accent. This is a moon accent. This is how they speak on the moon. Chris hitched
like
up
this.
his baggy pants. He went back into the living room. Everyone was listening to Cosmo. Those monster robots are called Metarex, Cosmo said. Metarex? Amy said. Many planets have been attacked by the Metarex. Cosmo looked worried. No one in outer space is safe. Metarex want to rule the universe, Cosmo explained. They will fight to have total order. Chris pictured the terrible things Cosmo told them. The Metarex destroyed everything, including our hopes and dreams. Cities
Rest
were
in
bombed.
peace, our hopes and
People
dreams.
screamed and ran. Mountains exploded. Forests burned. Trains and airplanes crashed. Someone's sandwich was stepped on.
Oh god.
It was our potato salad. Took us 3 days to make the potato salad. 3 days.
They have conquered many planets, Cosmo said. Chris imagined an army of monster robots. The planet egg holds the world's life energy,
Energy!
Cosmo
Life
said.
energy.
The Metarex
Life
take the
energy.
planet. The Metarex take the planet egg away. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to. Is this the grammatically correct way to?
No, it would be took.
Yeah, just like took. Unless if
Or
she's just
taken?
generally
The Metarex has
explaining.
taken the planet away? Planet
Unless
egg
if she's
away?
generally explaining what they do, maybe. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, they'd
Beats
have to be in
me.
the third-person perspective and just be like, "Hey, they generically take the planet egg away."
I think that's what she's saying, yeah.
Yeah. Chris pictured a planet.
Apparently.
The planet cracked, and the planet egg burst out.
Planet egg!
Well, how can Chris picture that? He doesn't know what one looks like. He didn't see what they just did. A robot
Probably
grabbed
thought
the
a
egg.
literal thing.
Nothing can live on a world that has lost its planet egg, said Cosmo.
I like to think he's just imagining like an actual egg, and he's like, yes, I see.
That's basically what I was being.
Oh no, the jumbo egg. Chris pictured a world like Earth. It was blue and white. It turned brown and got smaller. Then it vanished. He saw other planets blink out one by one.
Not
Did that
how
happen
works.
to this planet? Amy asked.
That happened here?
Cosmo nodded.
Oh, nipples. Mm-hmm.
Why do you know so much about the Metarex, Cosmo? Knuckles crossed his arms. Did you bring those robots here? Cosmo looked shocked.
Foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing.
Cosmo looked shocked. The Metarex have no heart. I'm not like them at all. Why should we trust you? Knuckles asked. I love his pouty sort of bit here. Why should we trust you? Pouts.
Why should we trust you?
I don't like you.
My people are gone, Cosmo said. But Sonic uses the Chaos Emeralds. He can stop the Metarex and save the universe.
First.
Save the universe.
Chris left the living room with Tails and Amy. Cosmo was crying. She really had come to ask Sonic for help. It sounds bad, Chris said. It sounds not good. Amy nodded.
That's no good.
You came just in
That's
time
no good.
You came just in time to sit on the sidelines, Chris.
Where's the lie?
Where's the lie of that? I saw BS.
And you built that pod in just 6 months, said Tails. Amazing. No, 6 years have passed on Earth, actually, Chris said. I'm 18. What? Tails and Amy looked at each other.
Tails completely knowing, shit, you broke the space-time continuum. Fuck!
There's
That's gonna be hard to fix.
there's one. It's from the
Chris's
same
side.
scene.
Let them take it a whole different way.
There's a. I remember sharing it in a different group chat.
It's Amy
where
T-posing.
it's like this same the same scene. Tails is in the same pose, but like Amy must have been in an in-between. But she looks like her eyes are like half open. She looks really annoyed. So
She's just casually T-posing here.
That's what I'm saying.
oh, Tails' eyes are like shut tight in the one that I shared to the group chat, and I said something of the like of like Amy complaining that Tails had an accident again.
Tails. Tails.
You're awfully small, Amy told Chris. I was tall, but I shrunk. Actually, Chris said.
Actually. Why would Tails would say actually? Actually.
There was a problem when I teleported.
Teleported.
A big problem, Tails said.
Well, actually, a small problem. But it...
Problem.
I can't change that now, Chris shrugged. But I'm sure I can fix the problem eventually. Amy opened Cream's bedroom door and stopped. Sonic! The bed inside the room was empty. Sonic was gone.
Yes.
Sonic missing and Sonic X.
Find out next time on Sonic X.
You know, he was absent for most of the last book, so being true. Dark day, one hope. Chris, Amy, and Tails ran into the bedroom. Sonic is gone.
I'm out.
Sonic is gone.
Wait, to have a
Tails
t-shirt
cried.
of Sonic. Should have out.
Chris walked over
We
to
saw
the bedroom.
Chris was here and he took
Chris walked over to the bedroom window. It's open. Amy stared at the empty bed. He ran away. He takes off when he gets well, Tails said. Sonic just can't sit still. Chris smiled. He hasn't changed at all. Sonic ran super fast.
No, he has not.
Whoa, super fast, just one word.
Super fast. He looked
Like a
like
fast?
he looked like a blue wind going in and out of the trees. He sped through the green forest. Sonic zoomed up a hill and ran into the mountain. He stopped on He stopped on the edge of a cliff and looked down. Screenshot page. What? Sonic gasped. Everything below him had changed. The trees were brown. All the leaves were burned off. The lake was almost dry. The ground was cracked. Sonic's world was dying.
was dying.
Next time on Sonic X, Sonic's world is dying.
This increased worldwide terrorist activity. Sonic's world was dying. Cosmo stood in Cream's yard watching through the bedroom window as Cream's mother... Even the book doesn't know.
Cream's mother. She has a
It's Cream's
fucking
mom.
name.
No, in Sonic
Vanilla.
X, she's exclusively
Dumbass.
called Cream's mom.
Poor Vanilla. She don't deserve that kind of treatment.
It's Cream's mother gave Chris a shirt that fit. What do you think of our planet? Cream asked Cosmo as they played in the yard. Do you like it? I do like it, you weirdly voiced rabbit. Cosmo looked back at the house. Amy brought Chris a cup of tea. Tails gave him cookies, which were much better than tea.
True.
I don't want the Metarex to hurt your world, Cosmo said. She vowed to protect the planet. Cream smiled. We have Sonic, so we'll be fine.
Sonic! You have Sonic, so we'll be fine.
But the Chaos Emeralds are gone. Screenshot page. I don't know if they edited this or whatever, but
I think it's from the song that sings
Sonic's
song.
outlines
So
are,
time
are
for
all blue.
relaxation.
Yeah.
Sonic is blue, da ba dee da be da.
Cosmo said. Sonic needs them to beat the Metarex. A blue blur whizzed in. Sonic stopped between Cream and Cosmo.
Whizzed.
Then we have to find the
Look
Chaos
at me,
Emeralds.
Eden. Oh,
Sonic.
sorry.
Cosmo was surprised to see him. It's my fault the
Sonic.
Chaos Emeralds are lost. Or sorry, no, that was Sonic. Do you like my impression of your voice?
Maybe
Sonic
I should
said.
remake some of the characters instead.
Sonic
I'm
told
here.
Cosmo about his fight with Dark Oak. He described how Dark Oak had raised a sword. Just hand the Chaos Emeralds over. I swear I've used this voice for like 3 characters.
Katsuni's finest.
Sonic was weak, and he knew there was only one way to keep the emerald safe. Chaos Control!
Chaos control!
Chaos
said,
control.
Flinging
Chaos
the
control!
emeralds into outer
I
space.
do a shadow voice.
The emeralds went in all directions. The light from them blinked out. They were all lost in space. Dark Oak would not be able to get the Chaos
Sonic.
Emeralds now. Sonic had grinned. Then he'd fallen toward his home world. I couldn't beat Dark Oak, Sonic said. But you can beat the Metarex, Cosmo said. Don't worry, Sonic raised his hand. We'll get the Chaos Emeralds back. We'll beat the Metarex and save the planet Egg. Let's go look for the Chaos Emeralds, Amy exclaimed. It will be a great
It'll be a
adventure!
great adventure!
Oh, sorry, this is Cream. It will be a great adventure, Cream said. Maybe fate brought me here to help, Chris said. We need a spaceship, Tails said. Okay, Sonic grinned. We're off to outer space.
Well, it's
Good-
Uncle
it's-
yelling
it's
at him for using Chaos Emeralds again.
It's a good thing they can just plan this off the cuff, you know?
Pretty much. And again, it's Sonic. What do you expect?
Power
He always
plays.
runs into anything.
Power plays. Oh man, who's off to the penalty box?
I love that.
You're not wrong.
Everyone followed Tails down to his workshop. They stopped on the landing. It will take months to build a spaceship, Chris said. Oh, just wait and see. Tails pushed a switch. A large motor roared. Thanks for that.
Roar. Do the roar.
Bright light.
I also love that Tails just casually has a spaceship at the Like,
Yeah, why not?
I love my floof boy, and good on him, but also, why do you just
Hi, boy.
randomly have a spaceship?
Well, what if they need to go to space, huh? Then they'll already have a spaceship.
Yeah, you know, he could have just been sitting around. You know, it's been 6 months. Eggman doesn't seem to have attacked anybody. You know, maybe he's bored. He just needs a project. You know.
Fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Bright lights came on. Sonic whistled. There was a huge machine in the basement. This is the Blue Typhoon, Tails said. We have a spaceship, but we need the Chaos Emeralds for power. Chris noticed the Master Emerald sitting on its altar. Here's that. Chris and Sonic fucking stole the Master Emerald
Yeah.
and put it in Blue Typhoon as Amy, Cream,
Uh-huh.
Cosmo, and Cheese watched. Look good, Tails called. Hey! Knuckles ran in. He stopped by the group under the ship. What are you doing? Knuckles was the guardian of the Master Emerald. He felt very protective of it. Just borrowing the Master Emerald, Sonic said. We're all going to outer space, Amy explained. Outer space? Knuckles looked surprised. We're going to find the Chaos Emeralds, Cosmo said. We need them to stop the Metarex. We need your help too, Knuckles, Cream said. Knuckles frowned. I want the Master Emerald back. Cosmo gasped. But the whole universe is in danger.
Danger!
Danger!
Cosmo, Cream, and Amy surrounded Knuckles. Oh no.
Oh no!
Hey,
Oh, no.
hold it! Knuckles exclaimed. Help! When it comes to angry girls, there's no winning, Sonic grinned. Sonic, you piece of shit.
Damn,
And I would
Sonic.
know what. I would know that all too well. I've been at the end of Amy's hammer way too many fucking times.
That's
Gotta
true.
love casual sexism.
Sonic, we're gonna have to have a talk after this.
Hey, you're just gonna hit him
About
with a
what?
hammer. I'm gonna kill you, little shit!
There was much to do before the Blue Typhoon could take off. Knuckles carried steel frames. Amy brought snacks. Two very different things.
What kind of snacks are you talking about?
Tails showed a diagram to Sonic. The Master Emerald's power goes into the energy chamber. Sonic nodded. I don't understand a thing, but alright.
That's true.
Then Tails went to the bridge. I'm sorry this happened just when you got here, Chris. No problem. Chris sat at a computer. I can help. The flying program is done. Chris, this is just Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Yeah, no, Tails
Imagine.
absolutely was like, this is a piece of shit. I'm just gonna use the program I made, like... Okay.
So I'm gonna use this. Meanwhile, you can play this video game of flying. You should be fine.
I'll tell Knuckles to...
3D space pinball.
This'll help us fly the ship.
Dude.
Oh no, I lost. I'll tell Knuckles to
Everyone
test the startup,
Pinball.
Tails said. Next, let's put in some super devices of zero description. Chris said.
Yeah, you
Gee,
know,
thanks.
super devices.
Super devices, yeah? Sounds great.
Great.
Tails grinned.
Yeah, sure. I trust you with this, kid.
Both computer screens hissed with
Hissed.
static. Metarex Spike passed by a
Who's
satellite
actually-
in space. The robot's eye flashed.
Also, Robert H. was saying, I wonder how rich Tails would have to be in order to have the hangar being good enough for the space typhoon the ship is. Probably very.
Don't you all know the Sonic world doesn't have money?
I was gonna
That's
say
why
it,
Victor wants
Being
money.
inconsistent on that.
I was gonna say it depends on whether Takashi Iizuka felt like the world had money at that point.
That's a good
Yeah.
point.
We don't really know. Sometimes it does, sometimes it fucking doesn't.
Rings, man. We never know.
Do not let them finish that spaceship. Dark Oom's voice boomed.
I feel like you wanted to
You
say
said
Dark
boom.
Doom.
Yeah, you probably did.
Do not let it take off. Metarex Spike turned
Too late.
and sped toward the planet. Metarex Spike attacks. Amy and
Hey,
Cream
ooh.
walked up a hill. They carried packages and wore backpacks filled with food. Tails will get the water we need, Amy said. We'll put the food on the spaceship. Then we'll be able to take off. Cream was excited.
Take off. I mean, why can't Creed just fly them? Fly with those things. She can use her ears to carry that stuff.
Across space.
If
That's
Sonic
about
X
full
were
of
at all
food.
game accurate, Cream and Cheese would be the most OP characters in the whole show.
They would, though!
That's very true.
Dude! Oh, how I miss Sonic Heroes.
Cosmo sat on a rock at the top of the hill. She looked worried and sad. This would be a regular feature of Cosmo's characterization.
That's
It
true.
really would be.
Cream set her packages on the ground. Do you want us to help carry these, Cosmo? Sure. Cosmo lifted the packages. They were heavy, and she stumbled. Are you
Aw.
all right, Cosmo? Cream asked.
Baby.
I'll be fine. Cosmo started walking. She tripped and fell down the hill. Apples and cans rolled everywhere. Can't do anything right.
Yeah, one job, Cosmo.
Cosmo! Cream and Amy ran after her. Are you hurt? Amy asked. I don't think so. Cosmo started to get up. The heavens turned dark for a second, and damn, caused by some cans, huh? A gust of wind
That's
blew
dark.
past. Something fell from the sky. An explosion
Explosion!
boomed near Tails' workshop. That's the Metarex, Cosmo pointed toward the mountain. The monster robot changed its shape as it stood up.
An Eggman, apparently.
For the sake of order, the Metarex exclaimed, I will fight anyone that tries to stop me. The robot shot beams
From its fingers.
Pew, pew, pew!
The beams missed the workshop. Adjusting aim.
God damn it!
I had one job and I fucked it up.
It fired again.
Self-destruct mode
Oh,
activated.
I missed.
It fired again. A blue wind zoomed in. Sonic hit the Metarex in the head. The beams missed the workshop again. Sonic jumped and kicked the giant robot.
God damn it.
Fuck! No, wait, no, that's even better. Booey!
God damn it. Dude.
Booey.
Booey! The Metarex
This
started
goes
to
down
fall.
like, fully.
Knuckles flew in. He grabbed the robot's head and pushed the Metarex into the ground. Sonic ran over to look. Knuckles landed beside him. The dust cleared. The Metarex was buried in the ground. The robot moved its finger. Then a sword appeared. The Metarex grabbed the sword.
It's a,
I love the way that this is described.
It's a new eye of the wind.
Sword.
Excalibur, is that you?
You know, it's all just straight and to the point. You know, Sonic ran over. Knuckles landed next to him. Robot used finger, sword. Robot grabbed sword.
It honestly, fucking Pokemon battle. Just
The Metarex used finger.
Yeah,
Super effective.
I
gotta say, the author's
Then
description,
again, 4Kids did dub Pokemon, so it makes sense.
the author's narration here is a lot less descriptive than it was in the last book, I've noticed.
I know this is supposed to be read by children, but you
you could use a little bit of description.
know, Sonic and Knuckles jumped when the Metarex swung the sword.
Sword.
you said that so fast. Sword.
Hey, we
Gotta go fast.
being Sonic X, what do you expect? We gotta go fast.
Knuckles.
Gotta go faster, faster, faster,
I need water if
faster.
I'm gonna keep yelling.
Knuckles landed in the clearing. An ordinary attack
I'm
won't stop
careful,
this
yelling.
thing. Sonic looked at Knuckles. But we have to try. The Metarex stood up. It was ready to attack again. I cannot let you leave this planet. The Metarex shoots beams from its fingers. Isn't
Whoa.
it cute?
I still the magic finger guns, duh.
Almost lunchtime.
Oh, look, the Gundam.
Is that the Metarex? Chris asked. He watched the huge robot through the window. It found out about our spaceship, Tails said. How are we doing? I don't know, Chris asked.
Not very well.
Actually, first read that as, what are we doing?
What the hell are we doing
What
here?
are we doing?
Good question, Dave. Good question, Chris.
I
How
mean,
did
what
you
is
pay
the
fucking
meaning of
attention?
life? I mean, you know, we just kind of exist for no reason, if you really think about it.
I thought we were reading Sonic X, not watching Gundam. Look at that robot.
Also, the robot is distracting you from the fact that Sonic and Knuckles look like fucking shit in that frame.
They really fucking
You're
do.
right.
I look like crap.
Tails looked at the computer screens. Most of the ship is ready. We can work on the rest while we're flying. Chris agreed.
They can work on the ship while they're flying?
That sounds like a miserable idea.
That's what I'm saying!
Looks
Tails Layer
better.
is smarter than that, my boy.
Just
Sure, you
throwing,
can fly this ship. Shit's all falling apart.
just throwing darts at the wall. Will you get Knuckles, Amy? Tails talked into his wrist communicator. We have to activate the Master Emerald. Okay, Tails.
Activation.
Amy clicked off her communicator.
Okay, Tails.
Cream. Oh, wait, no, this is still Amy. Cream, tell Knuckles to go back to the ship. What's going on? Cosmo asked.
He has final computer room, duh.
Damn, dude.
Oh my god, look at
Dude,
Knuckles.
Knuckles is fucking cracked out in the screenshot. Dude.
This is
Dude.
definitely an in-between frame.
Knuckles looking a lot like Envy for our Full Metal Alchemist fans.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's got the same hair. Knuckles pounds the robot on the head. Damn, bro. Bad day for the robot.
Fitting music for this. Punch, 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 punch.
But here for Knuckles, pretty much.
Tails wants to take off soon, Amy explained. I'd better hurry. Cream ran to find Knuckles. Sonic watched the robot from the top of a tree. The Metarex dropped the sword. Its fingers glowed. It aimed to fire more beams.
Falcon Punch!
Knuckles
Tell me you wouldn't.
Knuckles pounded the robot on the head. The ground smoked where... You know, Knuckles really liked hitting this thing in the head from what we read on previous pages and shit. The ground smoked where the Metarex fell. The robot got up. Then it stopped moving. It's dead. What's the matter? Knuckles asked the robot. Thorns flew out of the robot's chest. Look out, Knuckles!
What's the matter? Knuckles asked the robot while he was pounding it.
Look out, Knuckles! Sonic yelled. Sonic and Knuckles ducked and jumped. All the thorns missed, but they were headed for the spaceship. On board the ship, Tails turned a key on the bridge. Engine activated! Sorry, I lost my place. Then Tails saw the thorns on the computer screen. The thorns came closer and closer.
Closer and closer.
Closer and closer. All I want to get is a little bit closer.
A blue blur zoomed in. Sonic hit all the thorns. Away. They could have found a little more space to like just here, you know.
Yeah, there's plenty of room. Or they could have just shrunk font size like a singular.
They fell to the ground and exploded. A hedgehog can't get stung by thorns, Sonic said. It would be too embarrassing. The Metarex shot another beam from his fingers. The beam hit...
Are actually hedgehogs actually covered in thorns?
They're covered in quills, yeah.
Maybe that's why it would be embarrassing.
Yeah.
The beam
Bad
hit...
to say, huh?
The beam hit behind the workshop. Then the robot tilted. Knuckles dug up the ground all around the Metarex. A hole opened under the robot. The Metarex fell in.
Metarex fell in.
Knuckles looked down. I hope you learned your lesson. Knuckles.
Asshole.
Cream up with cheese. Come right away. Tails wants to take off. A sword came out of the robot's hand. The Metarex swung.
Take it from here.
Knuckles jumped out of
Actually,
the
why
way.
didn't Cream just like fly Knuckles out of there?
Sonic sped down from above. He hit the Metarex in the head. Go, Knuckles! I'll take care of things here. Cream, cheese, and Knuckles
There goes
ran.
Sonic.
Sonic turned to face the angry robot. Excuse me.
Robert
Sonic
H. was
literally
saying
went,
it's a
"I'll take it
bad
from
hair
here."
day for Nux, but his blonde tips are a fun choice.
Oh yeah, for sure. Countdown. Amy stacked packages in the spaceship. Cosmo carried
How
Cream's
exciting.
backpack into the... What?
I said, how exciting.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We go from this action scene to just like, the girls are stacking boxes now.
They're loading the ship up.
Cosmo carried Cream's backpack into the cargo room. We have to load as much food as we can, Amy said. There were piles of supplies outside. Oh, Kurt. Cosmo turned to get more. She lost her balance and fell. Oh, sorry.
Damn it!
She was imitating Cream.
Again, you have one job,
Cream's
Cosmo.
Cream smoke. You're pushing yourself too hard, Cosmo, Amy said.
Oh.
You're pushing yourself too hard by walking and trying to help in any way. Tails sat on the...
just a girl.
God. Tails sat on the bridge. He pushed two switches. The panel beeped. The yellow light turned on. Systems are go!
There go!
Tails raised the lever. Main engine connected. Ignition. Main engine connected, Chris said in the engine room.
Pull the lever, Chris.
We all figured. Kristen, fuck all!
He
Pull the
raised,
lever, Chris. Thorndike.
he raised a lever.
Wrong lever.
Knuckles chanted. The Master Emerald glowed. Chris lowered
But
another
they
lever.
really have not included the Master Emerald chant.
Yeah,
like,
you know,
seriously?
they could have put something nice and fun in there, you know.
Yeah, just
It's okay, they
have
would've gotten
the
it wrong
fucking
anyway.
chant.
Let's go. Let's go. Whatever.
Let's go, Emerald. Let's go.
Let's go. Pretty much. I could not find the words.
Chris lowered another lever. The main engine groaned and started up. We have ignition. Not there.
And then he pulled the wrong lever. Wrong lever, cuck! Wrong lever!
Cream ran into her house. May I stay over at Tails' place? On that spaceship? Cream's mother asked. Sure, but don't get in the way.
I love that. That is her biggest concern. Is just don't get in the fucking way.
Aw,
Going
yeah.
on
Don't
a fiction adventure?
die!
Yeah, sure, have fun, but don't get in the way.
I won't t. Cream hugged her mother. It was
Take it all
it was hard to
there.
leave her.
Oh.
I want apostrophe T.
Sonic fought the Metarax in the forest. He jumped up and hit the robot's face. The Metarax swung at Sonic. Which is like this author's favorite description. Swung.
It really is.
Sonic stopped the punch with his hands and legs.
Punch! Falcon punch!
He came back with a kick. Yeah! The robot...
Falcon kick!
Falcon kick! The robot stopped Sonic's kick. It circled and landed. Then the Metarax looked toward the workshop. Screenshot. maybe. We have ignition.
Rocks.
The ground used rock slide!
Monty Molden came out of nowhere and killed the entire Metarax.
I wish!
Should have ended, yeah.
Monty Mole is so cute!
The ground cracks. More rocks fall. Tails? Sonic called out to warn his friend.
Tails!
The rocks around the workshop started to fall. More thrust,
What?
Tails said from inside the Blue Typhoon's cockpit.
That's what she said.
Damn it! You beat me to it! Damn it! Beat me to it!
The power indicator on the computer screen got longer. More thrust, power indicator, grew longer. Come on, book. I know what you're
I
doing.
mean, they did say they were surprised at Chris's size, so... that could take into a lot of things.
Screen get longer.
11.6 million tons
Million
of horsepower.
tons of horsepower!
That's a
More
lot.
11.6 million tons of horsepower.
How you that, Dragon Ball Z announcer voice? Thank you.
Tails, to fly your ship into space, you gotta reach 11.6 million tons of horsepower, Tails.
Also,
Great
picking
Scott!
of measurement, because tons is weight. Horsepower is power, so you could either have 11.6 million horsepower or 11.6 million tons of force. You can't have both.
Like, shut up.
Ready to take off.
Dude!
The ground around the workshop
Yes.
cracked. More rocks fell. Sonic could see part of the spaceship. I won't let you leave, the Metarax said, puffing out its chest. It fired 10 thorns. Specifically 10. Sonic jumped.
Specifically
No,
10.
you don't.
Sonic jumped when the thorns flew. Oh no, you don't! The ground fell away from the Blue Typhoon. Sonic chased the thorns at top speed.
Speed.
He destroyed 6 thorns. Specifically 6.
You're too slow!
4 other
You're
thorns
too
zoomed
slow.
toward. 4 other thorns zoomed toward the spaceship.
They did not need to quantify how many thorns there were there. Just saying.
No, man, there are exactly 10 thorns, no more, no less. That's very important.
I had 4 biscuits,
No more,
then I
no
ate
less.
one. Now I only have 3.
Oh.
Sonic went speeding after them.
Oh.
He knocked the thorns away one by one. The Metarax stood tall in the forest. Sonic landed on the edge of the Blue Typhoon. He glared at the robot. I won't let you touch our spaceship! Jerk!
Come on, step it up!
Sonic versus the Metarex, which had been happening this whole time.
Yup. You're about a book and a half late.
You're too slow.
Knuckles raised his hands. Master Emerald, lend me your powers!
Lend me your powers!
Let me
All of your Master Emerald, give up your powers.
Damn it.
The Master Emerald lit up the engine room. 70, 80, 90, Chris said. Energy supply is full. The Metarex moved toward the spaceship. Tails spoke through the speaker. Sonic, let's use the main cannon. Stand by. The trees beside the blue typhoon fell. The cannon appeared.
Energy!
Energy.
Move energy! From the chamber into the cannon. Chris told. Chris was told by Tails. Chris redirected the energy flow. Energy is in the cannon tube, Chris said.
Is this where it goes?
Cannon tube.
Oh, that's where this goes.
Sonic
This
ran
is where
past.
Knuckles turns green.
Sonic ran past the cannon. Start your spin, Sonic, Chris yelled.
Okay.
Okay, Sonic shouted. He spun faster and faster.
Faster. Do.
The Metarex landed in front of the spaceship. Amy stored the last package in the cargo room. Oh goodness, I don't know what I would have done if they hadn't been able to organize the packages. Cosmo, Cream, and Cheese looked tired. Chris's voice came over the speaker. Everyone get ready for a shock. The Metarex changed outside of the spaceship. Thorns appeared in its chest. Trigger
Oh,
safety off.
Transformer now?
Huh?
The Metarex is now a Transformer.
You know,
I was gonna say, like, in the screenshot, it looks like a Transformers figure if you
It
didn't
really
transform
does.
it all the way.
It does!
it really do.
That would be an epic crossover, not gonna lie. IEW, get on that shit.
Trigger safety off, Tails called. He set the cannon. Target Metarex
Target
ahead.
Metarex ahead!
Target Metarex ahead.
The Metarex fired its thorns. Chris and Knuckles ran onto the bridge. Sonic, fire! Tails yelled. A spark lit inside the cannon. Light blazed. Sonic shot out and knocked away the thorn.
Blaze? I wish.
The Metarex stood to attack again. Sonic rammed right through the giant robot.
Alright,
Damn, Sonic.
I'm just gonna
Rammed.
flag you for a second. I believe his name is Josh. That hat guy is Leighton in general.
Yes.
Okay. Yo, what up?
Hello, Josh. It's a party in here.
So glad that I actually managed to remember a fucking name. Sorry.
You're good.
We're right at the end of this book, but there's one more that we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Look at that. The Metarex fires its thorns. Doesn't really look like it's firing thorns, but it is.
Looks more like it's exploding from the inside,
Yeah.
but alright.
Probably is.
What's
Sonic,
up?
you did spin into it. So, probably.
A hole appeared in the Metarex. It exploded. Then Sonic spun away into the sky.
Into the sky.
Away!
Spaceships away. The spaceship
These are-
flew yeah?
These are children's books.
Yes.
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 The spaceship Blue
Yes,
Typhoon
God.
broke free of the rocks. Sonic could not stop spinning as he fell through outer space back toward the planet. Sonic! Chris flew up in the Hyper Tornado,
Hyper Tornado.
I mean, we got the Hyper Tornado now.
a souped-up version of the
Tornado.
X Tornado. Chris? Sonic opened his eyes.
No Spanish.
The Hyper Tornado closed in. The cockpit opened. Chris stood with his arms wide. He grabbed Sonic's hand and pulled him into the Hyper Tornado. Sonic recovery complete! Chris radioed Tails. Roger!
Roger, Chris! I'm sorry.
Tails sat on the bridge. Here goes! The main cannon
That would
went
be me,
back.
actually.
The main
Wouldn't
cannon.
be Roger for a few years yet.
That's true. The main cannon went back into the spaceship. Main wing open! Tails exclaimed. Spaceship Blue Typhoon, take off! The engines flamed!
Flame!
Flame on!
From on and on and on and on.
The Hyper Tornado docked rather. Oops.
Decked.
Alright,
It
sounds
decks
good.
that
Reading
Metarax
Yu-Gi-Oh!
right
now.
in the fucking face. Amy, Cosmo, Cream, and Cheese waited in the cargo room. Let's go to the bridge, Amy said. Yes, everyone ran out behind Amy.
And not fall for the taking off. Gee, that makes sense.
And the blue typhoon
Yes.
rose into the sky. Sonic, Chris, and Tails looked out the front window. Amy, Cosmo, Cream, and Cheese ran onto the bridge. They all walked over to the window. Sonic scratched his head. He felt something funny. He pulled out a wire. Who put this microphone on me? Sonic asked. Deco sat in the cockpit of the Egg Crimson. He looked at Eggman. Sonic found the bug? Oh man, there it is. Eggman laughed. Okay then, we'll take off too. Roger, Becco, grabbed the lever. He lowered it. The engines
Pull
fired
the
on.
lever, Becco.
At least they commit to their misspellings.
You know, that's true.
They do.
So
Engine-
the response to Sonic found the microphone I put on him is okay. We'll take off the ship.
Well, I guess if we can't follow him by audio, we'll have to follow him manually, you know.
Yeah, sure, that makes sense.
Engine ignition! Bokun yelled.
You're making the bosses focus!
A crimson take off!
Sorry, sir.
Huh. Eggman frowned at
Oh,
Bokun.
amazing.
How dare you say that? I'm supposed to give the launch orders. Then Eggman's spaceship, Egg Crimson, chased after the Blue Typhoon. And the battle for the Chaos Emeralds continued. This was actually a pretty good song to, like, end it on.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, look, it's a Millennium Falcon.
And get your Sonic comic subscriptions right here.
It's only valid
I
until
wish.
it's only valid until February 26th, isn't it?
I think so.
2006.
I cannot even.
28th, 2006.
Damn, I was like 8 when this show came out.
So here's our back
Amazing.
cover, similar
Oh,
to the
that's
last
wonderful.
one. I'm not going to bother reading the description again, but, you know, here we
Punk
go.
is the only one who can beat the Netherix.
$5. That's it's pretty affordable, actually.
Or 7.
Trying
if
to
you're
find some
Canadian.
mail bookstores. When we still have them.
So, thoughts on this book? A lot
It's
less,
a book.
lot less descriptive
It's a book.
than the previous one. This author, like,
Yeah.
you know, like just gave less of a shit, I think.
Ian
Yeah.
Flynn,
Well, I've
where
been-
you at,
I've
man?
been watching a lot of Char 5 recently.
Oh,
And
shit.
then, suddenly...
And then
this-
suddenly,
Suddenly
my
that
Wi-Fi
thing!
crashed out.
Like a fucking...
I blame my Wi-Fi. I apologize. I don't know what's going on. It cuts everybody out.
Man,
The villain was already cut out for me anyway, so it's fine.
yeah, no, this one was certainly a book.
It was a book.
Yeah, it's,
Makes me want to watch Sonic X.
a lot of the
That's
same.
not as good as the
Wish we
previous
looked
book
up
for
with it. It would've
4-year-olds.
been hilarious.
Yeah, you know, that's basically what I'd say. Like, I feel mostly the same about it, except less descriptive. So, like, you know, objectively worse writing than the previous one.
And
I noticed
I don't
every book
know.
in this so far has been written by a different author, and that includes this
Yeah!
next one here.
They couldn't get a singular author to write it. That'd have been too...
They couldn't get Ian Flynn on their asses to try to write it. But alas.
Ian Flynn was still doing fanfic during this time.
Yeah, if Ian was around, he would have still been Penders' understudy.
Yeah, he was either like at the end of his fanfic era or like just starting with Archie at this point.
Yeah.
So we got our final book of the day, Aqua Planet.
Oh, good. A planet that Sonic will hate because he hates water.
This is another new author here. This one was written by Charlotte Fullerton. So we'll see if we get a better description, or maybe even worse descriptions of things.
Let's see if this one sucks.
We'll see how
It
we'll see how
might.
it goes. This apparently used to belong to someone named Walder.
I'm imagining
Well,
that's a
shucks.
last name.
It could be.
So, book number
Walter's
3.
looking for a bridge, dude.
Book number 3, Aqua Planet.
For Butler.
Let's go. Disappearing into space.
Let's go.
Chris Thorndyke's schoolmates, Lindsay without a D. Wait,
She got that later.
Lindsay.
Lindsay's his mom, actually, so that's not his schoolmate at all.
Chuck is Chuck's his grandpa.
Yeah, Chuck's his grandpa. Nelson's his
That's how I
dad.
talk
Only 3 of these are his classmates. Chris Thorndyke's schoolmates.
I think they meant to put a comma after schoolmates.
Lindsay, Chuck, Danny, Francis, Nelson, and Helen all gathered around the teleporter in their lab, or in the lab at their school. It was in the school? I don't remember that being the case. The teleporter.
No, it was in his private lab.
Yeah,
if I
yeah,
recall
like-
correctly.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell?
Get your
I'm
Sonic.
still sticking with the
Next
theory
time.
that like these authors
On
only like
Sonic,
watch the
retcon.
episode once and they're working off memory.
Sonic X Retcon. Yay!
The teleporter magically moves things from one place to another, and it had just sent their friend Chris somewhere. How were they going to get him back? Let's take turns keeping watch, in case Chris tries to send us a signal, Helen offered hopefully. They had no choice but to wait and hope he was okay. Meanwhile, Chris was okay.
Oh, that's great. Story is over.
At that very moment, he was speeding through the vast reaches of outer space on the spaceship Blue Typhoon.
Yeah, he's fine.
But Chris, that's illegal.
Yeah, you're gonna get a space ticket.
You're breaking the law!
If only.
Love this screenshot.
Bitch,
here.
we're the space police!
I wish.
Also on board
I mean-
were his good friends Amy, Cream, Cosmo, Knuckles, Tails, and Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic! Sonic!
They were on a mission to retrieve all the powerful Chaos Emeralds that Sonic had thrown into space in order to keep them away from Dark Oak's evil
Just
grasp.
imagine him throwing them there like exactly.
Tails sat in the pilot
Oh yeah,
seat,
you're going to space.
flying the ship. Everyone else gathered excitedly around Knuckles. Because, I mean, of
Why
course,
are
he's
Knuckles?
the star.
Well,
Chris-
yeah, it's Knuckles X.
Chris said aloud what every one of them was wondering. How will you know when there's a Chaos Emerald nearby? Knuckles explained, the Master Emerald
Squidward.
in the engine can sense the presence of the Chaos Emerald.
Chaos Emeralds!
I cannot believe I've had to explain this to you 73 times. Yes, I've counted, Chris.
I mean, realistically, like, it's not even a new fucking mechanic either. Like, this has always been a thing.
Knuckles
But
like,
it
those
could be
scary
any
little
child's
shit.
first book. So
This is true.
Yeah, that's fair. Down below in the Blue Typhoon's engine room, the Master Emerald was alternately dimming and glowing brightly. Could have just said, like, pulsating light.
Flashing?
You know, yeah.
Also-
Flashing, you know.
I'd like to say they also have to explain this to the author newly every single time, so they're like, oh, yeah, okay, the Master Emerald can sense the presence of the Chaos Emeralds.
When the Master
Well,
Emerald...
again, Brandon, they're paid by the word, so you know.
When the Master Emerald pulses like that, it can mean only one thing, Knuckles concluded. A planetary surprise.
It can only be one thing: a planetary surprise.
Are there any planets around here? Amy asked Tails. Tails pressed a button on his control panel. A three-dimensional star chart was suddenly projected onto the floor and slowly rotated. Chris eagerly pointed at it. Hey, over there, this reminds me of Star Wars. This is Star Wars.
Oh yes, it's that blue planet. Oh, what was it called again?
What's the name of that planet? Asked Cosmo, who did her Cream impression again. Sonic had the answer. He was reading a guidebook all about the stars and planets, which just happened to have all
would
the
never do
information
that.
out there, apparently.
Oh, it was
Sonic.
probably Tails' book. But wait,
Son-
Sonic reads? That's a first.
Well, that's where my comment comes in, is he would never do that.
Sonic is a
He
man of
doesn't do
culture.
that. That's literally what Secret Rings is all about.
Sonic,
That's fair. That's fair.
Sonic pointed to a picture in his book. It's called Aqua Planet.
Aqua Planet.
It's called Aqua Planet, you bitch. Get it right.
Plebs.
It's a very creative name. I made it myself.
Sonic imagined himself zooming all over the landscape of Aqua Planet. Running super fast
super
was
fast.
Sonic's favorite thing to do. And he
Uh,
always... Yes, Katie?
Should someone tell Sonic what Aqua really means, or...
And he always enjoyed going to new places to run for the first time. Amy noticed the big
And the
smile on
running
her friend
water.
Sonic's face. What an awkward way to write that sentence.
Oh, friend Sonic.
Sonic!
They could have very easily omitted like half of that sentence. Just then, like, Amy
Paid
noticed
Ivy word.
that...
Okay then, Amy commanded as if she were the ship's captain. Head for Aqua Planet. Off we go. I'm the
She's not
captain of the
Tails.
ship, you know.
Hey, it's my ship, you know.
I'm the captain of the ship, you know. Tails pouted, but he did as he was told. Lol.
Tails' pet would be so cute.
The Blue Typhoon changed direction in space and headed toward Aqua Planet. The Master Emerald in the ship's engine room began to shine even brighter as the Aqua Planet slowly came into view.
Shine bright like a emerald.
Tails piloted the Blue Typhoon down through the clouds of the planet's atmosphere. He prepared to land carefully on the surface. Why don't we call this off? Sonic asked in an extremely worried tone of voice. Why chicken out now? Knuckles teased him.
Told him.
I'm sure you picked the wrong place.
He fucked up.
He found out what the word aqua meant.
Yeah, Katie was right. Just a moment ago.
Sonic on this
Told
screenshot
ya.
looking like.
I hate water, Tails. You know that. Why the fuck are we going here?
So, just
That's
moments ago,
practically what he's
Sonic,
saying.
Sonic had been looking forward to this. What could have possibly changed his mind? Tails looked at the
But there
view.
was a picture.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, there
But
was
he
a
looked
picture.
at the
Well-
picture.
He pointed out the picture and was like, "It's Aqua Planet." Sonic did this to
You
himself.
had to have fucking noticed.
Well, you see, I'm fucking stupid, actually.
But actually, I was just fucking told, and then I realized, oh shit, that's Lou, like me, and water. I hate water.
Like
That's practically
me.
what he said.
Tails looked at the view screen and saw exactly what was bothering his pal.
Egg, exactly.
We're landing on water, he
Hey.
announced. And Sonic hates water, especially wet water.
I hate water, especially wet water.
The Blue Typhoon splashed down, causing a huge wave. Sonic showed his guidebook to Tails. The picture of Aqua Planet in the book clearly showed land.
I
See? See, it's different from what's in the book, Sonic insisted. I'm sure we picked the wrong place. Tails began to sweat.
I began to sweat.
Oh, yeah. Tails began to
No.
sweat. No, we didn't, Tails insisted. I'm sure this is the right place. Something must have caused Aqua Planet's environment to change. I can't believe it, Sonic cried. No way!
I can't believe it. You're sweating. Foxes can't do that.
I told you, Sonic, I have a glandular problem.
We don't talk about that.
Everyone decided to get into individual mini-subs to explore the watery surface of Aqua Planet, except for Sonic.
I'll take it from here.
Except for Sonic, bitch. Luckily, Chris had an idea. He welded two mini-subs together so Sonic could ride with him. He just did that on a
Yeah,
whim.
that's gonna help. Sonic's gonna be like the episode of the beach where he's like just gets up and then lays back down.
Aboard one of the single
like
mini-subs,
on a cruise ship.
Tails gave the command.
I miss it.
Take off!
Take off!
Take off!
All of the mini-subs, including Chris and Sonic's double sub, shot away from the blue typhoon like torpedoes. Look, Chris all happy there. I did a thing.
Aw. I did something!
Oh my god, that screen cap!
I did a worse thing.
Caption this! That'd be a good caption this photo.
Chris drive the double shop.
Ah!
Something's fishy. Sonic and Chris's double mini-sub dove through the water. Sonic gulped anxiously. I think I'm getting seasick, he said.
What?
Chris thought, Sonic isn't at home in the water at all. Then Chris said out loud into his end of the voice tube, Don't worry, I'll take care of you.
That's not creepy
That is
at
not
all.
ominous
Chris
at all.
said, taking out a gun.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That
Robert
doesn't
H.
sound sus
also
at all.
asks a good question. Why did Tails pack the... Why does he have so many of them? Right? Like, it would have
Good
been
question.
efficient to have one sub for all of them instead of having to make a whole crap ton of mini subs.
Dude was
then
literally
again, they
prepared
Tails
for
and-
any situation, I guess.
Yeah, which I mean, all the more credit to him.
Also, I like Chris's expression on this page here.
Oh yeah.
I know, it's great.
Chris grabbed the control lever and made their sub speed up.
I'm gonna
Just
make
then.
this to caption this photo.
Just then,
This
mother
photo's gonna be
son-
material.
a mother sunfish and her baby crossed in front of the sub. We're going to collide, I think, Chris cried out.
Where's the fish?
Chris steered the sub away in the nick of time and narrowly missed the mother and child sunfish, but this caused the double mini sub to spin out of control.
Now Sonic's really getting seasick.
Seasick, Sonic complained. Hey, give me a break. Meanwhile,
Okay,
Give me a break.
this is meant to be a
You're not
child's
Raph.
book. They don't know what the fuck seasick is. You could have explained that at all.
I gotta debate that, Dylan.
I get it.
I
Picture of
think
this again. I'm keeping this.
this is probably meant for like 7 to 11-year-olds or whatever. I think
that's
that
fair,
they
that's
know what
fair.
seasick means.
That's fair, but I'm still gonna bitch that they could have done a better job at explaining it than just, he's seasick.
Give me a break. Who is he, Raphael?
Meanwhile, Knuckles, Amy, Cream, Cheese, and Cosmo had already landed their mini-subs on a beach and were looking around. Is
You
the
really
chaos...
couldn't just say everybody else?
We have to denote every single one. Is the Chaos Emerald really here? Asked Amy. No doubt about it, Knuckles replied confidently. My intuition as a treasure hunter tells me so. Stand back! He whipped out his shovel claw and dug into the sand. I
Where
guess
were
I'll
you
look
keeping
somewhere
that?
else, Amy decided.
Up his butt.
You don't want to know where Knuckles was keeping that.
It is Quill, so can be keeping other places where the sun don't shine on him.
Amy, Amy immediately decided that Knuckles didn't, in fact, not know what he was doing. Cosmo,
Knuckles have a... Knuckles? I don't know what he's doing? Yeah, that sounds correct.
Cosmo remarked, I wonder where Sonic and Chris are. Still out at sea.
I wonder what happened to Sonic.
Chris and Sonic's double mini-sub came floating up to the surface. Their near miss with the sunfish had thrown them off course. The sub's canopy opened and Chris and Sonic poked their heads out. Sonic was still feeling terribly seasick.
Seasick.
I'm surprised he didn't barf in the ship. In that double sub.
Ooh,
He's full of
barf.
seasick. You should have barfed.
Chris
Hi!
spotted some land with a tall tower standing in its center. The tower looked like a lighthouse. Hey,
What?
Oh, it was.
it's an island, Chris exclaimed. Huh?
Huh?
Sonic felt almost too sick to look. Chris docked the mini-sub onto the shore of the mysterious island.
Island.
Mysterious island.
By now, Sonic was way too weary to walk, so his friend Chris gave him a piggyback ride.
Aw. When does SpongeBob show up? Not in this book, I wish.
See, it's land. You'll be fine now, Sonic. Chris tried to encourage him. Great, stammered Sonic.
Great. Thanks, asshole.
Suddenly, some Metarax
I
appeared,
hate you.
but they didn't look like regular Metamax.
Metamex.
Metamax.
Oh,
My
wait, we
favorite-
gotta stop Dr. Wily.
no.
What, Mega Man? Their bodies were half
We're
fish.
half fish.
Oh no.
A mermaid?
Mermex.
Mermax.
Oh,
Mermaid?
man.
I would draw that.
Mermax! Sonic yelped in surprise. Chris supported his friend, who was unable to stand by himself. Now was sure not a good time for Sonic to be sick. What? Chris replied.
Barfs everywhere.
Shocked. You mean-
Shocked.
I am shocked and appalled.
You mean Aqua Planet has been conquered by the Metarax? Maybe its planet egg was stolen,
Stolen.
Sonic guessed. That's probably why it became a water-soaked planet.
Even
I
though
mean,
its
it's called
name literally
Aqua.
fucking implies that.
Damn it, I was just saying that. High five.
I
I
think
did slap
think-
my shitty Sonic impression on it.
I think this
My Sonic impression is
author
even worse.
this author really liked employing the silly text a lot more. I think than
Yeah,
other
they
two.
love just suddenly
Definitely.
bold and colored.
I'm all for it.
fighting fish. The fighting
I
fish.
I just imagine Sonic just like punching.
My favorite
normal fish in
Pokemon,
the
fighting
face.
fish.
Sonic caught a carp. Just punches it. You know.
Fighting / fish. My favorite type of Pokemon.
The fighting fish Metarex began their assault on Chris and poor seasick Sonic. Sonic still managed to protect his friend Chris. He picked up one of the fishy Metarex and threw it. Then he punched and kicked some of the other attackers. Chris, run for it! Sonic yelled. And never come back! What are you talking about? I may not look it, but I'm a black belt, you know. Chris said proudly. Tanaka taught me karate, see?
All this is making me think of is how much better this arc would be if they brought along Tanaka instead.
Yes!
I love
Give
it.
me that.
Chris took a
Oh,
karate chop
Karate chop.
at one of the
Karate chop!
half-fish Metarex. But partway through his
Good.
swing, 18-year-old Chris suddenly turned into his 12-year-old self, which he already was.
He'd been that for
Ew.
the whole last time. Also, this next part doesn't fucking happen. Just
This is-
getting that out there.
I don't know. I feel like the parent reading to their kid right now. What the fuck is going on? That's
Yeah.
what happened to Chris when his nerves got the best of him. He shrank and grew, and sometimes shrank again.
I'm shrank again.
Sometimes, but not all the time. Now his arm
But
couldn't
wait. Hold on. Does that mean that he did this beforehand when he got nervous? Like he just suddenly would randomly shrink and grow? Because if so, he needs to go and see Dr. Sap.
He drank that potion from Alice in Wonderland where it makes him shrink
I
and
swear
grow.
this doesn't usually happen.
Now his arm couldn't reach his enemy, so he missed with a swish. Once more, Chris said. He fucking
for the
magically turned back into his 18-year-old self because he apparently, this is one of his powers, I guess, that we never knew about, and set up to try again. This time he kicked at one of the half-fish Metarex, but again, 18-year-old Chris turned into his 12-year-old self, and his shorter leg missed. Quit
Honestly, you know
playing
what?
around.
It'd be more for the
Like,
authors going like cracked out shit.
What
like
is this chapter?
You know, I agree with I agree with Rabbit.
Even I'm like, the fuck is this chapter?
Quit playing around! Sonic shouted. He kicked the Metarex half-fish. I'm not playing around, Chris answered truthfully. I can't help it. So,
What is he, a werewolf?
Sonic
Is it
punched
full
two
bit
more. Sonic punched 2 more attacking Metarex. Just go hide yourself someplace for now, Sonic ordered. And leave them to me. Why?
What Sonic
you
actually
suck,
said,
Chris.
why
Duh.
don't you just go kill yourself?
Oh no. No, Sonic, no.
Because you suck, Chris!
Oh no, now YouTube's gonna have a suicide notification at the beginning of the stream.
They said it on me.
Dylan, I swear to Christ, if that
was
joke
them
gets the
boys.
stream flagged. Why? Chris
You're
yelled,
Chris.
annoyed. Why? Grinned Sonic while pinning down a fishy Metarex. You know, because you're Chris. Damn.
Great excuse, Sonic. Because you suck.
Jokes aside, I do feel like Sonic would probably be a little nicer than that.
Damn, Sonic.
It's, you know,
What an asshole.
Sonic putting it bluntly right there. But, I mean, it is what we're all thinking.
Because you suck.
Yeah,
Sonic
I'm
still-
sorry, I just have no...
Sonic still treats me like a kid, Chris said to himself. My senses are just
Yeah.
a bit off because my body shrank, but now I'm getting the hang of it. But just then, a fighting fish Metarex attacked Chris. Take that!
You're
Chris
saying?
yelled, fighting back. This time, Chris landed a punch, but the half-fish Metarex
Half-fish Metarex turned out to be made of steel.
Ouch.
Chris's punching hand swelled up to twice its normal size. Ouch. Chris hopped
So
around in
he's
pain.
Popeye now? Did he eat some magic spinach?
Nah, he couldn't possibly. More half-fish Metarex attacked Chris. Chris! Sonic called out. A Metarex pounced on Chris. Sonic leaped to the rescue and saved his friend by pushing Chris into the sea. Wah! Chris shouted as he fell into the water.
What do you think is gonna happen, Sonic? Idiot. Sure,
Now
that's gonna save him.
Now the fighting fish Metarex stampeded towards Sonic. Sonic went into tornado attack mode. Oh my god, they spelled tornado correctly.
What?
Wow.
For once!
Oh, this is I misread that as super fart, not super fast.
Just put it on super fart. Yes.
He spun around super fart,
Super all those chili dogs.
knocking away all the half-fish
I'm in a
Metarex.
song movie, so.
Run! Oh, sorry. Run for it! Yelled Sonic, returning to his normal state. Chris
Go
headed
for it.
for the safety of the sub. He looked back at Sonic and was shocked by what he saw.
Good
Sonic!
for Robert H.
He screamed, frantically pointing, trying to get his friend to turn around. A single fighting fish Metarex, twice as big as all the others, loomed large behind Sonic. This was the Metarex boss. The boss lifted a surprised Sonic high over his head. Then he threw Sonic into the sea. Ugh! Wah! Sonic struggled in the water, trying not to think. Sonic did not like the water one bit.
Whoa.
Chris started to go rescue Sonic, but was
I can
startled
feel-
by a crane suddenly coming from the lighthouse. The crane fired a net trap with a long wire attached, and the net covered Sonic, who was splashing in the water. Sonic, cried Chris.
Chris Ex Machina.
So I try not to think.
What a screenshot page right here.
I love that.
I can't
I don't
swim!
know how to swim.
Just how small his pupils are there.
This is a Dragon Ball face if I ever saw one.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's
You're
like
not wrong,
it was
Skull.
like Alex eyes in Pokemon. Ted Pikachu where his eyes go all tiny when he saw this Greninja.
The crane pulled the wire. The net, with Sonic trapped inside, was lifted high into the air. The half-fish Metarex dove into the water. They swarmed towards Sonic, dangling in the net above. Chris called out to Sonic, "I'll rescue you now." "Never mind me," Sonic shouted back. "Just get out of here. If you get caught too, who's going to help?" But, Chris protested. "I love you."
I love you.
love you.
High five.
If you couldn't tell by my earlier comment, I don't love you. Quite the opposite, actually.
The swimming
You
Metarex.
suck.
The swimming Metarex closed in on Chris's mini-sub. Just as they leaped at him, Chris slammed the hatch shut. I'll come rescue you somehow, my wife. Sonic, Chris
Somehow, my love.
Underground secrets. Back on board the Blue Typhoon, Chris repaired the Hyper Tornado as he filled Tails in on the situation. The Hyper Tornado
again.
Yeah, Tornado.
My favorite.
The Hyper Tornado was one of the smaller ships kept on the Blue Typhoon. Sonic got caught! Tails repeated, concerned. Yes, so I'm going to rescue him right now, Chris said firmly, covered in grease, continuing his repair work. Oh, God. But do you know where to go? Questioned Tails. Not yet, Chris said, but I'll figure it out. Just then, a transmission came through to the Blue Typhoon. It was Amy's voice. Amy here. I'm in the basement of the island. A basement? This was definitely not a normal island.
Certainly. You think?
This is my favorite part of any of these books so far.
Also, Underground Secret. I thought it was Sonic X, not Sonic Underground.
Also, how... That's hilarious. But how the friggity frack do you have a basement of an island?
I mean,
that makes no fucking sense.
I mean, you gotta fox deck and fly with
Again,
the tail,
I say,
so, I mean,
the fuck is this chapter?
I mean, fair enough, but I also love my floof boy, so he gets a pass.
Your voice is
Dylan,
great.
have you ever considered that the whole island is someone's house?
Rabbit, you make a solid point.
I agree.
If
This
I
is
don't
my
cut out,
island
I
resort. It
retract my
cost me
comment.
$50 million. We have some bad news, Tails said, about Sonic. He got caught, right? Amy said, not sounding surprised. Tails was the surprised one.
Yeah, this is just a normal Tuesday for Sonic.
How'd you find out? The people of this planet told me, said Amy. She was surrounded by the original inhabitants of Aqua Planet. Chris cut in.
What?
I'm sorry. It's all my fault. Don't worry about it, Chris, Amy responded happily. This gives me the perfect chance to prove to Sonic how much I love him by rescuing him.
I love you.
Tails and Chris
I
listened.
love you, Sonic.
Tails and Chris listened uncomfortably as Amy acted out her pretend rescue team. I've come to save you, Sonic, Amy said. Then Amy imitated Sonic's voice. Oh, thank you, Amy. I love you. She even made lovey-dovey kissing sounds.
They're like, what?
That's disgusting.
Get a room, you two.
That should be me making the kissing sounds with Sonic.
He wishes.
It is one of the
Probably.
It is one of the funnier moments of the actual episode. Hey, Amy.
It is.
Chris interrupted.
Oh god.
What, Sonic? Amy said dreamily. Snap out of it. I'm cross. Is there anything I can do to help?
Cross.
Just don't get in my way, Amy insisted. And Tails, after I rescue Sonic, pick us up with the X-Tornado, okay? Are you sure? Oh, wait, no, this is Chris. Are you sure there's nothing for me to do, Tails? Said Chris. His face was covered with oil, which was very necessary to point out. Why don't you go take a shower? Tails suggested. What?
You fucking stink, dude. Take a shower. Gosh, I lost my voice for Tails. No.
The hero within. After Chris took a shower, he looked into the steamy mirror. He saw his 12-year-old self in the reflection. I don't like where this is going.
Me either.
Also, the next sentence, if you read that wrong, then yeah, I'm right. Don't like where this is going at all.
I agree. Again, what the fuck is this chapter?
I've grown so much these past 6 years.
6 years.
Doesn't look good to me.
Chris flashed back to starting college, studying karate,
Flashed?
flying on an airplane. Or flying an airplane. Not on, he's flying the damn thing. and flipping burgers.
And flipping burgers.
What kind of
because
airplane
Well,
is that?
He's
We're kind
doing
of
all
right
this,
on that.
all this extravagant stuff and then flipping burgers.
Well, he is a rich kid, so probably could afford all that shit all at once.
I got to experience so many things, like flipping burgers, Chris complained. But to Sonic and all the others,
Sonic and the others, I haven't changed at all.
Chris imagined Sonic, Knuckles, Amy, and Tails each fighting their various enemies. I don't have the tremendous power.
Tremendous
that
powers.
Tremendous
Sonic and the others
power!
have.
Amy Lunace's!
I only have the mundane power of changing my age suddenly. So I can't
I can
possibly.
shrink and grow.
So I can't possibly do what they do. Chris imagined cream and cheese flying through the air.
Oh, now they reference cream and cheese flying.
I can't even do what cream and cheese can do. Chris sighed. Why did I come here? Chris lay his
Good
back in
question.
bed.
Why did you come here?
Chris lay on his back in bed, looking at the ceiling. He thought back to the exact moment when he decided to come to this world. In his mind's eye, he saw himself looking around his old room. His gaze had stopped on a framed photo of his windowsill, a picture of him at age 12 with Sonic and his friends. A mysterious gust of wind had knocked the frame to the floor, cracking it. Why did this get so depressing all of a sudden? Chris had picked up the broken picture frame. A worried feeling had come over him. Chris continued to lie on his back in bed, remembering these things. I sensed that danger was approaching Sonic,
Danger.
Chris recalled. That's why I felt I had to come to rescue him.
Also, welcome Mephiles to Dark Falcon.
Hello,
Well,
Mephiles.
Welcome, Mephiles.
They were saying that
Oh.
the useless character has acknowledged he... Yep.
That's
Pretty much.
just about the gist of it. We're about halfway through the last book here. Look at him. How could this happen to me?
To me, I made my mistakes.
Now in his mind's eye, Chris pictured himself at 18 sitting in an outdoor cafe with his college friend Helen. He was scribbling a blue
Friend.
pen on a napkin.
When they get married?
Not confirmed, but implied. He was scribbling a blueprint on a napkin, coming up with his new inventions that could help Sonic. What are you drawing on that napkin? Helen
That's
wondered.
Tails' job, dude.
A magnet barrier, Chris explained. It can extract the energy of the ring from spars. And this? Speed shoes, Chris continued, with special soles that increase the friction between them and the ground. Helen smiled.
That slowed Sonic down?
Helen smiled. I'm sure they'll make Sonic very happy. Now let's get you to your room, old man. On the Blue Typhoon, Chris was still lying in bed. Suddenly it hit him. He jumped to his feet. I've got no time to be brooding, he scolded himself.
Yeah, I'm not even 13 yet to be brooding.
I'm not a kid anymore. I've got to do what I can.
I'm not a kid anymore, gamer fans.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Sonic was captured
Oh
and needed...
god, I don't like one of the phrases on this page.
Oh my gosh, look at Helen's eyes! Why do they look kind of creepy? Yeah, kind of like Kanana's eyes from Naruto.
Sonic was
Her hair's
captured
pretty good.
and needed his help.
Looks so good
Even-
Moon-esque.
Even if Chris didn't have any superpowers like Sonic and the others, Chris did have his own special invention.
Special inventions.
Tails, is that you?
So he went to his desk and got to work.
He already has Tails for vengeance. I don't think he needs
We're not
Chris.
cavemen, SpongeBob. We have the technology.
We have technology. Operation Rescue. Half-Fish Metarex guarded the entrance to the Metarex base. Sponsored by Metarex. Amy hid behind a rock. So that's the place, she said to the chief magistrate of the planet, and all the other original inhabitants who had guided her to this spot. Yes, the chief magistrate nodded.
Yes,
Be
queen.
careful, because they are not flesh and blood. Amy understood. They're robots. Then she charged at the half-fish Metarex, her hammer swinging. Take that!
Take that!
Take that!
this! Take this! Take this!
Inside the Metarex base, in the Metarex boss's chamber, sponsored by Metarex, the boss was fishing, using Sonic as bait.
Sonic has bait.
A space shark.
Space shark.
Space
What is
shark!
this? What is this? A fucking cheap old film? Sharks in space.
I watched that
perfect
movie.
music, perfect music.
It's Jaws in space.
A space shark flashed its sharp teeth at Sonic.
It's
Sonic,
old Kentucky Shark.
And he's been there.
Sonic hung in the air.
No, wait, it's that shark toy from, or it's called Shark Toy from Pizza Planet.
Oh,
Duh.
yeah. Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Hey guys,
Howdy,
I'm
howdy.
Woody. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Sonic hung in the air, swinging back and forth at the end of the boss's fishing pole. Hey, cool it! Sonic shouted down to the hungry shark
Hungry shark.
in the water below. The space shark just gnashed its teeth. I'm sorry, I can't get over space shark. That's beautiful.
I watched that movie.
While dangling from the Metarex boss's fishing rod, Sonic thought that he heard Amy's voice call out, Sonic! Huh? Sonic reacted, surprised. Nearby, inside the Metarex base, Amy was using her hammer to clear a path for herself through the crowd of attacking half-fish Metarex. It's, you know, Sonic and Chris were having a time with these guys, but Amy's just one-shotting them left and right, man. OP. Really is the boss killer.
True.
Just
True.
what is your issue?
She made her way up the spiral staircase that was against the wall, knocking over fighting fish Metarex as she went along. Back on the spaceship Blue Typhoon, the
Extronautic.
which was another small craft
Nice
kept
and
above
finished.
aboard the ship, which this book had explained multiple times, rose from the hangar. Tails was in the Extornade's cockpit. The chute door of the Blue Typhoon opened. Tails entered the craft. The windshield of the cockpit closed. Extornade to the
Extronautic
catapult!
to the catapult.
Announced
Tails!
The catapult attached its hook to the Extornade's front wheels, then blasted it off the Blue Typhoon. Chris, who was in his room working on an invention to help Sonic, looked out his window and saw the Extornade speed away.
Scanning these bugs. One of them has games.
This art goes hard, actually. I've never seen this before.
It's really nice Amy art.
Saving Sonic.
Amy
Amy-
looks so innocent.
Amy used her hammer to break down the door to the Metarex boss's room, where Sonic was still tied to the end of the boss's fishing pole. She leapt at her beloved
Leapt at her
Sonic to
beloved.
rescue him. But because he was so used to avoiding Amy's constant attempts to hug him, Sonic dodged her out of habit. Amy missed, flew by him, and landed in the water. What do you think you're doing? A soggy Amy demanded. Sorry, reflex. Sonic chuckled nervously, then suddenly shouted,
Oh,
Hey!
I'm not gonna say it.
Look out behind you! The space
The
shark was behind me!
Oh, man!
Alright, this is my new favorite sentence.
Also, Eddie was saying skimming through has games.
Sorry, what?
Yes.
One of these books apparently has games in it.
Oh, that's incredible. I
We should
love
play these after the stream's over.
it. You know, I like this interaction a lot better than
Also-
in the actual episode because you
I
know,
did have a joke though.
Sonic's all tied up and shit, and you know Amy reaches for him, and you know it lands in the water and whatnot, and this fucking dumbass. This is the English version. To be fair, I don't know what it's like in the Japanese, but she's just like, "You were supposed to catch me." It's like, bitch, how?
I also had like a joke. Sonic got Amy wet. I'm sorry.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Oh dear
More
lord!
ways than one. Yeah, bad joke.
Without even looking, she whacked it with her hammer. The shark fainted.
That's
Amy
so
uses
effective.
hammer. It's super effective. The
Rest-
only-
High five!
Rest in peace, Space Shark. You were my favorite NPC in all of this.
Where was in Space Shark in other Sonic games, man?
Amy jumped out of the water.
Yeah.
She hammered at the half-fish Metarex and grabbed the fishing rod from the big Metarex boss, with Sonic still hanging off the end. Sonic is mine!
It's mine!
Amy proclaimed.
Sonic is mine!
She
My
ran away
precious.
with the fishing rod, dragging her beloved Sonic behind her. Hey, Amy, be careful with the merchandise! Ow!
Here,
Ow!
Felicia.
Ow! Sonic protested, skidding along the floor. Amy ran down the spiral staircase, dragging Sonic. Half-fish Metarex closed in on them from above and below.
I'm surprised Sonic is not, like, unconscious from all that.
Sonic
Yeah,
and Amy
Ow, 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 ow. Dead.
Sonic and Amy could hear the sound of the X-Tornado approaching. Sonic much less than Amy. Amy heard Tails shout her name. She used her hammer to shatter the wall of the Metarex base. She burst outside, pulling Sonic along, landing right on the flying X-Tornado. Let's go to the
You're
Blue
gonna
Typhoon.
give me rug burn!
Let's go to the Blue Typhoon for now.
I'm surprised
said Tails.
Sonic did not, like, pass out from all the hits to the head. Just, like, dragging him.
Here we see Amy unintentionally knocking Sonic the fuck out.
It honestly looks like she's
That's
about
what
to
I'm saying,
hang
bro.
Sonic.
He's just dead.
As she walked
I
Sonic
don't
to the
feel so
gallows,
good.
these were the final words that he said. First unhook me, will ya? Sonic said, pointing to the fishing rod. But there was no time for that now.
There's no time for that now? What do you mean there was no time for
There's no time to explain. The X-Tornado flew away toward the sea. At the Metarex base, a whale gun... A whale gun? Excuse me?
Whale gun?
A whale
Where
gun
was
aimed at the
this?
ship and fired several shots, but the X-Tornado dodged the attack. Oh no! Amy cried. Tails wondered what was wrong, since he had just piloted them to safety.
Okay, so is it a gun that looks like a whale, or is it a gun that shoots whales?
a
Yeah.
whale that shoots things and is therefore a whale gun?
You know, I want it to be a gun that shoots whales, because that's a lot more badass and funny.
True.
Like, not even robot whales or anything, just like actual living whales from Earth.
Yeah. One of the shots had cut
Someone
Sonic's
please
fishing
draw
line.
that. Thank you.
One of the shots had cut
Someone please
Sonic's
draw that
fishing
animate
line.
that, please. Thank you.
Now Sonic was plummeting toward the water.
For the water.
That's why I said to unhook me first, Sonic shouted up at them as he fell.
Yeah, one fucking job, Amy.
I'm gonna fucking die. Thanks, Ames.
Water and chaos.
Oh,
Just-
Chaos.
Cute.
Just then, the Hyper Tornado showed up, with Chris at the helm. It was this, Chris shouted to Sonic as he fired a glittering capsule from the Hyper Tornado. It made special shoes appear on Sonic's feet. Sonic crashed into
Let's
the
make him
sea.
drown.
A huge wave rose. When it cleared, Sonic was standing on the water. Just like
I'm
Jesus
surprised
Christ.
they didn't make him drown in this case.
They're special shoes. Amy called from the X-Tornado.
I can Pierce fall on the ground.
You're floating? How? Sonic beamed. It's all thanks to Chris and these shoes. Sonic was wearing hovercraft shoes that Chris had invented. Chris felt so proud. He finally had proven himself. From the X-Tornado, Amy shouted, "The Metarex are back!" The boss and the other half-fish Metarex swam toward Sonic. How dare you use me as bait! Sonic yelled at them. But thanks to Chris's hovercraft shoes, Sonic was able to fight back against the swimming, fishy Metarex. The boss fired a large torpedo. It blew up near Sonic. The boss fired a beam. Sonic dodged it. The boss shot a spear from his hand. Sonic spun really fast and knocked it away.
That's a bait. Okay. I thought it said Bart instead of bait.
Now the boss himself charged at Sonic. Sonic spun around faster and faster. Then he flung his spinning body into the attacking Metarex boss. There was a gigantic explosion in the water. Chris, Tails, and Amy watched anxiously from their two ships in the sky above. The mist finally cleared. Sonic stood safely on the surface of the sea at last. He looked up at his inventor friend.
Oh.
Thanks, Chris, I guess. Sonic grinned.
Yeah, sure, thanks.
Chris smiled and nodded proudly. Aboard the X-Tornado... Aboard the X-Tornado,
Bloody.
hovering above the water, Amy noticed something like a beach ball floating on the sea below. What's that? She wondered. The beach ball sank. The water's surface sparkled. It's the planet egg!
Beautiful.
Tails exclaimed. The water
The
began
water's
to dry
laying
up.
an egg!
The water began to dry up all around Aqua Planet. Land slowly became visible again. The planet's inhabitants cheered as the chief magistrate cried tears of joy. Later,
The water just had a baby in my cereal box.
Squidward! Later on the beach, Cosmo napped as Knuckles dug into a hill with his shovel claw. Cream and Cheese noticed a glittering blue light at the foot of the hill. Could it be a seashell?
Is seashell?
Cream wondered.
And Grey Yoda on this screenshot here.
Oh, what?
What? Yeah, I was about to say. What the hell's the Star Wars episode? That's from Sonic X.
It was a blue Chaos Emerald in red text. They had finally
Why
found.
didn't they put that in blue text?
They had finally found what they came to Aqua Planet for in the first place. The sea level continued to fall, revealing dry land all over the planet. Sonic grinned and gave Chris the thumbs up sign. Chris, Tails, and Amy watched as Sonic gleefully zoomed around Aqua Planet.
I'm not complaining.
Over hill and valley, finally able to take himself out for a run. No subscriptions apparently available in this one. There we go.
The end.
The end of our
For now.
our little adventure. Book number 3 thoughts. A lot more descriptive, actually. I
like the various liberties the author took with this one.
Yeah,
both for better and for worse.
And you know, some of these descriptions, you know, with the space shark and because you're Chris or whatever the fuck.
Because you're Chris.
The
You went
space
at the
shark
fair
was
place.
suddenly behind Amy.
Yeah, there wasn't as much just suddenly.
Yeah, you know,
And then suddenly,
there was a lot more going on with the wording, and I can appreciate that. So I think this was honestly the best written of the books.
there you go.
Yeah.
Just
I did that for you,
included some
Felicia. You're
like
welcome.
wacky weird shit in there too. That doesn't happen in the actual episode. You know, like Rabbit said,
Yeah.
taking liberties. So
I honestly don't mind some of it though.
no, yeah,
Liberties,
I think
liberties.
I think it gave this book character.
It kind of wakes me up a bit because we're not just like reading the episode. I'm like, huh? What? What's this?
Yeah. Yeah, no, because like the last one was literally like Sonic ran, Sonic fought the robot did a thing, you know.
Suddenly sword.
You know, especially for a
Robot,
kid's
use
book,
finger.
especially for a kid's book, like that's not engaging. That's just, you know, saying what happened.
He did this, he did that. Gee, thanks.
So yeah, that's.
And I've got good news. The author writes all of the Sonic X books from this point forward.
Oh shit.
Gee, thanks.
So I guess they tried it out with like the first 2, and we were like, not really feeling it. And then the third one came along.
Beautiful. Well, fam, that was book number 3 of our little adventure here. It's time to. Oh goodness.
So, chat, any last thoughts?
Just remove that. I wasn't expecting it to go to the YouTube dashboard.
Oh well.
Goodness gracious.
Also right.
There's our analytics there.
So that's
If
who's
you
watching
ever
this.
wanted a view behind the
Skull902 Livestream, do you say
Yeah, that's the YouTube dashboard right there. Your YouTube dashboard looks great. Oh, thank you, Spidey.
Thank you,
I'm
thank
sorry.
you.
I'm sorry, Eddie. Goodness.
Dude, y'all's commentary just kills me the entire time.
Yeah, it's like I wasn't able to look at the chat here, so
I tried to look at it.
Yeah,
I
I
was
tried to
I'm
keep
dying
up.
from laughter.
Sonic Prime will steal this. Those are the
I wish.
longest 2 hours of my life. So far, what I'm getting from this one is that Chris is insecure about himself, and also and also Amy does low key everything. You know what? That's
True.
it's a great difference between that last book and the second one with the thrills and excitement of Amy was putting the boxes away.
Yeah.
Um, I'm particularly like wanting to do like some of the original Sonic books and want to see just how batshit crazy some of those stories get.
Oh, for sure.
Like, it's the
Yeah.
originals for songs that I am, or like,
Um, I'm sure some of them are definitely Sad I Am influenced, yeah.
Probably. Goodness,
if I
yeah.
ever
If
find like a old Sonic book, I'll have to let you guys know.
if you guys are at all interested in this continuing, I think it was a good time.
That was
Yeah.
fun.
I laughed a shit ton and had a lot.
Dude, I was dying from laughter. Y'all's commentary was like, oh, I gotta join in on this shit. Y'all were killing me.
Oh
It was
well,
so fun.
that's good to hear.
I miss you guys too. So
Aquaplanet is, in my mind, actually called Aquarii because it sounds pretty and feels more realistic. Well, I have so many reading suggestions, says Spidey or Eddie. Sorry.
British song books that are very wild, dude. Felicia, do tell.
If
I'm sure a lot of them like right below the Sonic X books in this list here are like the British books, so that'll definitely be a trip.
Dude,
Yeah,
can you read those
there's
all in a very bad British accent?
all the Sonic books are like in a big list, like they're all
They were
together
released like
in
a
this.
couple years ago that had interesting stories. Interesting,
Yeah.
If
Harvey.
you guys are interested in checking out the collection, uh, here you go again.
Read the
jokes,
Sonic
keep
joke
jokes.
books if we can find them.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Sure. Man. But yeah, they got a lot of shit here. They got Sonic, Donkey Kong. I can't wait to get to Donkey Kong. They got
That should be
And then
fun.
did Donkey Kong rap.
they got Sailor Moon. Like I said at
Oh,
the
Sailor
beginning
Moon.
of the stream, actually, that they have a fucking
Here's someone named
adaptation of
Sailor Moon.
they have an adaptation of the '93 Mario movie. Like,
Yeah.
Grab
Dude,
Vinny for that
yes.
one.
Please.
Lovers!
it's
Do the
wild.
Mario.
But it's all there
Oh, I love
in this archive, and thank God it's here because
Yeah.
Yeah, this was
Special
originally
thanks
part
to
of
the
a
folks at
site
the
called
Internet Archive.
this was
Retro
all
Reading
originally on
Time.
a site called Retro Reading Time that was around for like a few months, and then somebody like just so happened to archive all of it.
Yeah, it's
Whoever archived this, I want to shake your hand.
not quite seeing everything here, unfortunately. Like I tried looking for Power Rangers, for instance, and they don't have any
Yeah,
of those.
but
But
Go
most
Power
of it's here. Like all the
Rangers.
Sonic X books are there.
yeah,
So
Yeah.
they got a
you know.
good
What else
chunk
is
of it.
there?
Yeah.
The folks at the
Good night,
Internet
Felicia.
Archive did their best, and thank heavens for that.
They tried. Good night,
Uh,
Felicia. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, have a good night, Felicia. Hope that you enjoyed the stream and have yourself a good one.
That was fun.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
I'm glad I joined. Plus, missed you guys. But you guys' commentary in the live stream had me dying. So I'm like, oh, I want to join in on. I want to get in on this action.
Man, I'm glad because I wasn't expecting that to kill my voice as much as it did, but here we are.
Oh, my voice is dying, but I'm having fun.
Those Sega Power books sound interesting. Yeah, we could look into those on a future one of these.
Sega Power books.
Sega Power. Oh boy, I know about World of Power.
But Sega Power's another story.
Yeah.
Sega.
It takes ages to be this Sega.
Got books on CBS and CBZ, CBR format. Oh.
WinRAR?
Yeah.
Like I'm paying
You
for WinRAR.
I ain't paying for that
Here's a
shit.
pro tip: use 7-zip instead.
7-zip all the way.
Yeah. Pretty much. You don't even really need to do that anymore because Windows 11 will just open RAR files by default now.
And that's true too.
Oh shit, I didn't know
Oh
that.
goodness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
I
Tommy.
still prefer 7-zip, but yeah, Windows 11 7Z
Never-
and files.
Well,
Never use that.
in any
Like
case,
In the Goofy movie.
in a Goofy movie.
That movie just turned 30 years old. Damn, does that make you guys
Yep.
feel old?
I do.
I've felt old since I was like 19.
Yeah, I exceedingly feel older every time I'm.
You want
What?
beer?
Also, why does my mic keep cutting out? Hell.
It's on my end. I am sorry. I don't know what's going on.
No, that's on me. I
My end
literally
keeps also
watched it
keeps like
happen
cutting stuff out
myself.
too. You know this like since yesterday. I'm like, what the shit's happening?
Maybe it's getting to that, like Discord might be unable to read it because of your pitch or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
maybe.
It's been doing this it's been doing this for me since yesterday. So like, it was kind of people out in the call.
Knowing
Yeah, I don't know what
Discord,
the
they
problem
probably
is.
just have issues.
That it
Yeah.
never fixes.
I mean, they try.
Yeah, keyword being try.
So
They try.
for a little bit here, we'll open up the Q&A segment. So questions, comments, concerns, complaints, whatever you want to talk about. It has been a long while since I've streamed, and whatnot. So if anyone's got anything they'd like to discuss, we can do that here for a little bit, and then we'll wrap it up.
We will have questions for your answers. Wait, not Jeopardy.
Make a Jeopardy. They add face and fur questions to Jeopardy.
I'll take skull902 live stream for 100.
All right. Let's see. Do I need to refresh the chat? So nope. WinRAR. Is that a disease, Eddie?
I've got
Just
a
kidding.
question. Why aren't we reading Donkey Kong right now?
My voice is too
And why is
wrecked.
nobody
I
saying
can
Donkey
only
Kong
do the
rap?
3 Sonic X books. I'm probably not gonna do the voices next time. That should help.
I could have done some
and
of
bring
Tails
water.
and Creams and Cosmo's voices and Amy's.
I mean, you
I
don't
actually
have
know
to
how
read
to
the whole
voice
damn
them.
thing yourself, man.
What do we want to? Do we want to take turns next time?
That's
Yeah.
kind of what I figured you'd do.
Well, you know me, I
to be
can
honest with
read
you.
for like hours and hours and hours and do voices, and my voice won't be worn out.
I've
You know,
trained
could've
you.
done
I've trained
Tails,
you well
Amy,
on that.
Cream.
You know what?
I
I
don't
basically like soloed a lot of the Paper Mario streams.
That's an entirely fair point.
But yeah, no, I'd be game to chip in if you need somebody to rest your voice for a minute.
You know what? That would be a fun idea to kind of like shake things up. Maybe change the reader.
Yeah, us all reading character,
do
which I don't mind.
do it like school style,
It's
where
pretty
like
accurate.
do it like school style, where with each new chapter is a different person.
Yeah, and that
Yeah.
helped.
Or we
with
could
the
all
whole
read
we are
as
bring
the
our
characters. Like
voices
I
out.
would, like if Tails speak, I'll read as Tails. The idea.
We just got a new Crossworlds trailer confirming the Nick leaks. How are we feeling about that mashup? You know
What
what?
mashup?
Like once the leaks came out, like I definitely was not expecting SpongeBob.
Yeah, it's an odd.
I wasn't expecting it, but I'm not that surprised at the same time.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. It's cool. They said that they wanted to do a bunch of crossovers when they announced the game. So like,
A
hey,
bunch of, meaning like
How they
half
even
of
get
the
the rights to
season pass
SpongeBob
is
is a real
Nickelodeon
question. Nickelodeon probably.
characters.
I just
Yeah.
want to know how they got the right to it. Well, speak which case, Coast Wars is on.
Because like
That's a good
Paramount
point.
does the Sonic movies, so
and I mean, I
Okay, fair
just
point.
I just figured that like they meant crossovers with like their IPs, but they meant other properties too. So whatever. Still
And
not
then
enough.
speaking of which, the Sonic movie has been nominated for a couple of awards
That is true.
for the Kids Press
Uh,
Awards.
Still not enough to make me care enough to buy the game at the exorbitant prices that they're trying to extract out of people.
Ouch.
Yeah, why are they doing that?
Yeah,
Nintendo, the
Because
fuck?
Sega's greedy.
I am disappointed, Mr. Sega. You really dropped the ball there.
Yeah, they're
I
a
do
little better
agree because
than
like, look
Nintendo's
at how much
being on
Mario
the
Kart
matter at
World
this
Tour
point, but
costed.
Yeah, no, and
kind of.
like with the release date of the game too, I know what the fuck they were doing. Uh, they wanted to make sure that like it doesn't go on any sales around the holiday season too. So any kid asking their parents for the game, and their parents are gonna have to cough up $70 for it, or $90 for the like the pre-order
Digital
stuff
books, yeah.
and whatnot. So like if you have to buy the game, buy it used. Sega doesn't deserve the money, and it makes me very depressed to say that, but that's just the truth of the matter.
No, that's Nintendo because that's people who are doing it because like they're releasing it on like probably Nintendo Switch 2 and stuff.
Yeah, Nintendo's being a bit greedier than Sega is, but I'll agree
That's
with
true.
Phil on this one. I was kind of shocked to see that Sega.
Why does
Okay, we're just
Mario
gonna
Kart
move
World
on to
Tour
this.
cost $80?
Meanwhile, I'm just like, yeah, Sega's been like this for years. They're only just now doing it with Sonic.
Money. They want the money. I gotta do good Mr. Krabs voice.
So yeah, I'm sorry if anyone was expecting me to play the game around launch. The only way that that's going to happen is if someone happens to give me the game, which I do not recommend. Uh, so my apologies, but they're asking way too much for a
They
spin-off
are.
racing game. And it
Yeah,
doesn't.
it's not
I
great.
complained
It's
about
cool.
this enough on the last stream, so I'll shut the fuck up after this point. But it doesn't even look as good as Transformed is. So like, goddamn.
Transform was like fun. I've been watching you guys play and watch other people play it too. It was like so much fun. I could get the Switch version, but I mean, I could try the PC version once I get my PC set up and I could play with you guys. That'd be fun. Eventually, when we move and when I actually have room for it. My PC is huge. So is the monitor.
Huge. So yeah, depressing spiels about Sega's upcoming releases aside.
And Nintendo's too, because goddamn, $80 for Mario Kart World Tour?
And
Looks like fun, but good lord.
Nintendo is doing it worse, and like the thing about them, in comparison to Sega, is like they rarely, rarely do a price drop on their games. So like fucking 3 years from now, Mario
Rarely,
Kart Tour is.
never.
I mean they do,
Not
but
even
like
rare.
it's so like
Not with any of the big names.
it's so infrequent. Like Wii games were what, like $50 when they launched, and by the like
Were they? I don't even remember how much you paid for like Smash
Yeah.
Brothers and Mario Kart Wii.
I
It
do
was
Work and
$50.
I do remember that like the price for New Super Mario Wii, like a brand new copy, did go down eventually to $30, but it took years
They
upon
had
years
like
for that to
player's
happen.
choice.
It took
Like
years for that to happen.
towards the end of the console's lifespan, they started selling like some of their better selling games for $20.
Jokes on
Yeah.
them. Our console stopped because our Wii remote stopped working, and believe me, we tried replacing the batteries in them and everything.
I remember seeing, after I got the game used, just seeing that New Super Mario Wii in my local Meijer, which is like Midwest Walmart,
I
and
don't have a Myers. It makes me
it
sad.
was like it was sitting there, and I just looked at it and I was like, "Sir, it is 2016. You've been out for 7 years. Why are you $30?" So
Try buying a Pokemon game. Good lord.
Pretty
that's
much
expensive.
after Iwata died and they got their new president, they
Oh.
never decreased their prices on games ever.
yeah,
So like if a game came out like 10 years ago and it was $60, it's still gonna be $60 today. So
Yeah, it's quite a departure from what I remember, like the 6th gen
Mm.
era being, because like if you got a game that came out 2 years ago, like a launch price for like GameCube was like $40. That game would be around 20 brand new. Uh, you know, it just made sense. That's just how things were. Uh,
yeah.
Not anymore.
Not anymore, sadly. So, dude, try buying a used Pokemon game. Good lord. I was at like a con and over like I think with Pokemon Heart Gold or something, cost like over $100, like way over than that.
Yeah, God
Or
forbid you
Pokemon
try
Diamond.
to buy a
Either way, good
Pokemon
lord.
DS game.
oh God, yeah.
I don't even want to imagine how much like Red and Blue costed there.
One of my
Oof.
biggest regrets was not picking up. This was before the retro bubble started growing. I remember going into my local play and trade. Rest in peace. I miss that place so much. Uh,
Oh.
and uh, they had sitting in there still shrink wrapped brand new Pokemon Red for $30.
Damn, really? Actually, back in the day, in 2000s, I got Pokemon Blue for a really good price back then. Could have been 30. I don't remember. It was so long ago.
That
And
would
that
have
was, I think, when Ruby and Sapphire came out.
been a really good pickup. I
I should have
remember
got
that
Ruby and Sapphire as well.
they also had the Dreamcast internet browser, again shrink wrap new in disc,
What's the shrink
for
wrap? Just like like little thing, like, a little like one of those like little things where you keep used games. You saw these little, like, I'm not sure they are called containers that they kept games in. I'm not sure what to call them, but
well the Dreamcast web browser was also like $5, and that would have been a pretty cool pickup as well.
Yeah. You know
I
what
think I once saw a good used Pokemon Soul Silver for like $22 at GameStop. I should have bought it.
What were
Yeah,
you saying,
but
Dylan?
I was just gonna say, you know what I miss? The old GameStop. You know, the GameStop that actually worth a damn. Like the home of used games at decent prices, not a piece of shit that they've become nowadays.
True.
I can't even
And
recall
these
the
still
last
were
time
kind
I
of
stepped
like,
inside of a
good lord, I
GameStop, to be
kind
honest.
of felt like got scam training in a few games just to get one game. I mean, got like a
Yeah.
few games are free, but still.
I
I got to
mean,
play them now.
Eddie, if you don't have anything to ask, you don't have anything to ask. It's not like a pressure thing, It's just
No,
if
it's
someone
more or less just, hey, we're here. So.
if someone's got something they want to talk about, then Q&A section session.
Or you guys want me to ask you? Eddie, that's up to you, man.
Well, it is a joke question. I see. Uh,
We have been bamboozled.
we've been Smeckledorf.
We've been had. We've been.
Uh,
Where's that meme? I was thinking find it, but in the chat, it's great.
man. But like GameStop used to be a pretty cool place to shop. Like,
Yeah.
And now you can like grade Pokemon cards there now. But grade Pokemon cards is also expensive in itself.
in person is still the better way to shop for retro games because
Mm-hmm.
they'll be a little less than online, especially when you factor in shipping. But
True.
like GameStop used to be bros, man. Like I remember when I was shopping around for a copy of Ultimate Spider-Man. I was really
Ooh.
sad because I couldn't find a copy online for like less than $40. The one that I
They're
bought at
still bros,
GameStop
though.
was 13. Like
Damn.
that's how cool it was back in the day, man. 2010.
Oh yeah, that's the GameStop that I miss is when I was a kid and I would go in with like $20 and come out with like a bag full of crap. Like genuinely. And now you go in and it's just like, ugh. Why did I even fucking bother?
I actually have talked with some of the people that like work there. They're really nice.
Oh
Me
yeah,
and one lady, one cashier lady, had talked about Pokemon. Because she said, I got this like Cubone plushie. I really like Cubone. It's my favorite.
Me and the guy that I went with to GameStop all the time back in those days. That very same GameStop actually that I bought the
Oh yeah.
Ultimate Spider-Man from. Like we made friends with two of the cashiers from there. It was a great pleasure every time we saw them work in the register because we could
I
just.
recently got the plushie from GameStop. It was this Pokemon Squishmallow that I got for. We have the GameStop membership where like if you can like get $10 off coupon like every month or so.
Oh,
Like once a
the
month or
Power Up
so.
rewards back when that was actually still worth a damn.
It kind of is. Like I was able to get some Pokemon plushies there, so and a little Switch plushie somewhere. There's yours. So hey,
Collecting is hard if you don't live in the U.S.
true.
Oh,
But then again, it's like eBay and Amazon, so
I guess it also depends on what you're collecting because
Yeah.
there's quite cool websites too that people like recommend and stuff.
If you want a non-US exclusive, it's easier to get it in places
I
that
can sell
aren't
people
US.
Kit so cute. So
Yeah.
soft. I'm like,
Like you're not gonna find a whole lot of Mr. Blobby merchandise in the United States, for instance.
oh man.
Or, if we could, though, I would have given them to Georgia for so many Christmases.
Yes.
She hates Mr. Blobby, for context.
As any sane
just out of
person
pure
should, but
spite.
it would be funny to send them to her.
Oh, it would be tremendous to send him to her. Also, I think that if I did, she would have killed me by now.
Probably.
Maybe not video game collecting, but I definitely struggle with comic collecting. Just not a whole lot of stores around there. I take it.
Now, a lot of stores or like cons. A lot of cons sell comics.
There is a local comic store actually that I'd really like
We
to
have a few
check
around
out.
here. Like there's one that calls comics and other stuff. Also, we also
Yeah.
have like other stores like Books a Million, Barnes and Noble also has comics there.
There's one here, the next town
There's
over,
an actual comic store. Actually, there's a few.
and I go there every Friday. To play Yu-Gi-Oh! Usually, and the guy there that runs the place is wicked nice. And usually, if you're looking for something, help you find it if it's not like ridiculously expensive.
So
Comics can be ridiculously expensive.
I caught the part there where you said about playing Yu-Gi-Oh, so I have to ask Dylan.
Mhm.
Playing Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments in person and based off of all the testimony I've ever heard. Is it true about the smell?
The
smell?
Like that, like a lot of people who compete in like card game
Oh,
tournaments and
like
whatnot.
BO kind of
Yeah,
smell?
like like some of the patrons there do not know how to wash.
Yeah, usually
That's what's in
not.
that
There
Pokemon
are
comic
a
too.
couple of people that sometimes I'm not gonna do anything stupid, but there are
Not
a
to
couple of
dox
people that
anybody.
immediately come to mind when you mention that. So yeah, there are a few. Most are actually
I'm not to dox anybody or anything, but I wanted to see more like Pokemon CG tournaments too. Yeah, that's
yeah. Well,
Pokemon
it was a
World.
thing back when I played Magic as well. You always had those one or two people that I swear to heavens hadn't showered in like a year plus.
I got two, but I used to play Magic IRL. I played Magic the Gathering.
Well, there you go.
Speaking of which, did you see Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering collab?
I'm sorry.
Final Fantasy is doing a Magic
Oh
of the Gathering collab.
yeah. I've seen because the store I'm talking about also sells Magic and Pokemon and all sorts of shit. And I saw one of Final Fantasy sets. I thought it was pretty cool.
I recently saw
Not
a
cool enough to
commercial on it.
create
That's
my
kind of
interest in
thing.
Magic, but oh.
Where's that picture? I'll post it in chat if I can find it. there's a photo of Jacksepticeye in a Magic the Gathering commercial, the Final Fantasy thing. I'm like, what? And then I started talking about it as well. I was like, double what?
You what? Sorry, I had to.
You want this cup? Good lord, let's see if I can find it. Not my camera. Albums and a camera. Images. Camera.
Really lucky. Sometimes they have one issue of my favorite series. Ah, man. That's unfortunate. And I take it there's not a whole lot of online options for you either.
That sucks. Sorry about that, buddy.
Yeah,
Oh, there's a picture. I'll post in the chat.
I have better luck now where I live now, but when I lived upstate, it was basically the same. Like, if you wanted any shipping pain because, well, you had to pay the middle of nowhere.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I guess that's one of the things I might take living near a major city for granted. You know,
Well,
that
now I do. I live in a somewhat major city now, and
I mean, it's not probably major, but like it's near a bunch of places, so we get to go places easier.
yeah, I don't know what you. I know it's a city for sure, but I don't consider where I live major-ish. I guess. I don't know. Depends on who you ask.
Let's see, we have like Hobby Lobby near us. I mean, there is a GameStop close by. We live right by like a Joann's, but that's closing down, sadly, for some peace.
All of the Joannes are shutting.
Yeah, the one near us is completely like almost like empty.
The one here shut down like a month ago, almost.
We live like a couple minutes away from it.
So that
Rest in
Big
peace,
Lots.
Yeah, Big Lots also closing down too. Me and Mom been there recently. There's one of the areas closing down. Well, they're in places, so. Oh, good.
The one here was funny because it was kind of a will they, won't they sort of thing because they closed down, and then like 2 days later they reopened to close down the following weekend, and they did that like 3 or 4 times before they finally just shut the doors for good.
That's hilarious. Like, take your damn mind.
Well, yeah, I felt bad for the signs. Sat out there with signs that were like, final day! Had that
or is it?
Fucking 3 weeks.
Dun dun dun. Also, Rabbit Sonic fan, I see you've been playing Deltarune, Chapter 2.
Indeed. Yeah.
My buddy's Best Bud's playing it too.
Oh.
Their gameplay's been great. They're so funny. Anyways. Oh, no one's asking me anything in the chat? Where have y'all gone?
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, if the viewers have, you know, if they don't feel like asking something, or if they left and had something to do, you know, that's just how it be sometimes.
Speaking of Deltarune, I need to pick up the thing. I haven't done.
I wonder if there's a Switch port for it.
Could be.
Yeah.
I know my friends played it, but I don't know what they played it on. Maybe I can ask them.
Yeah, it's on the Switch.
I'm at the eShop. I'm gonna Switch.
I'm pretty sure it is.
I just hit it, but it gets trash can.
God, that makes me feel old, Eddie. So, they were saying that their last day of high yesterday, and I'm sat here thinking, Jesus Christ, it's been nearly fucking, what, 6 years since I graduated high school?
The last day
high school in 2012.
I was the class of 2019.
Damn it, I gotta sign back into my Nintendo account.
The last time I went to school was 15 years ago.
Jesus.
Yeah, so I would have been the same graduating class as Rabbit, but I quit high school, which every time I bring this up, I always say,
thank you.
Do not quit school. Even if school sucks, I know I've been there. Like, it is not worth it to quit.
I've been, let's see, I've been in public school since I was in about 3rd grade. I got homeschooled starting in 4th grade. In Allward, I was homeschooled like after elementary school, throughout the rest of elementary school, middle school, and high school. I was homeschooled through all those.
This might be a bit more of a personal question, Skull, but have you ever thought about going back and finishing?
As I'm aware, the process of like, I wouldn't be able to like enroll in like regular high school to finish anymore.
Well,
'Cause
no.
they have an age they have an
Not
age limit on that.
supported.
But
Okay, $25, not bad.
the process of
What
going
was it?
through.
Undertale and Deltarune pack is 15.
Katie, hold on.
Oh, sorry. Chicken Switch.
As far as I know, I would need to do more research into it. I know someone close to me tried once before, but the process is like very
Yeah, the process can be
complicated
very
in the state
grueling.
of Michigan, from what I'm aware.
Yeah,
And
it's
costs
not
a
that
lot of
great
money.
here in New York either.
So
I thought it was expensive in New York. Everything's expensive in New York.
so from what I'm aware, the process is both costly and complicated. So it's you know.
Yeah. I
left
hope
a
it's
bit off
okay
the
I
end.
asked. I was just kind of curious.
Yeah, no, I mean it's something that has crossed my mind before, definitely.
Yeah, but it's the same thing here in New York State. Once you cross a certain age, I don't remember, you'd have to go to an adult, the BOCES, and you have to pay for it out of pocket, and that can get real expensive real
Yikes.
fucking fast.
Yeah, I think the
Yikes.
cutoff age here is like 22.
I want to say it's 21 or something like that here.
I have no idea what it's like here. I'll have to ask Google or something.
Man.
I don't know what the state of SC has.
But yeah, if you can at all help it, and this is for anyone out there who might be listening, try and finish school, because it'll help you out in the long run. Or at least if you're going to quit, have a plan. I did not have a plan, so that really ended up doing some damage.
Oh yeah, look, it's all robot dudes.
But all right, fam.
Wow.
We are getting to about 3 hours, and I think we've just about run out of things to talk about. So, I'm gonna call it stream here. It seemed like this was a pretty good experiment. This quote unquote pilot episode. Might try it a little differently next time, but I think that reading is cool and should be encouraged. So if this helps in any sort of way, then good. So yeah, that'll do it for this stream. Tomorrow, Rabbit and I are going to be back for episode 11 of Memory Lane Buddies. We're going to talk about unfinished / unrealized projects. So
Ooh, boy, do I have a story on that.
a lot of
A lot
shit
of
for
my years of voice acting.
A lot of shit for he and I to cover in that one. That I'm
We'll join
sure
our way
we'll
sometime.
hastily try to hash out before the stream.
Stay in school.
I mean, it's an important thing, Eddie. But yeah. So Memory Lane Buddies is next, and by the time the month ends, I would hope, because I try to do like 4 at least per month, and computer issues have definitely put a fucking spike into those hopes, but there's still a chance. So I'll talk to Trip
Our
about
sympathy
maybe some
skills
more
hold
DK64
dreams.
or Mario Galaxy something.
Ooh.
So yeah, that'll do it for this one. Hope you had fun. And yeah, we'll see you next time. But until then, I've been skull902.
Rabid.
That guy.
Kelsey VA.
And I've been Dylan.
Thank you for watching, and have yourselves a wonderful day. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.